The latest New York Jets trade deadline rumors are juicy, and they involve Quinnen Williams and a first-round pick. Plus, we'll talk about it. More rumors, and the Jets are in their bye week, so they can't lose. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Lesnar Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Welcome to the show. Make sure you guys like the videos. You're heading on in on YouTube. We also stream on Facebook and Twitter as well. So shout out to those folks that are tuning in wherever you happen to be tuning in on the show. If you are watching on YouTube, in the YouTube description down below is more details on this subject matter of Quinnen Williams and some juicy trade rumors. We also have a poll up. We'll get to that in just a second. But let's welcome in our special guest for these Sunday game day shows. Although no game day today, it's a bye week. But our NFL insider extraordinaire, Matt Lombardo, it's game day every day when you're subscribed to his Substack, baby. Direct link is down below. And let's bring him in. It's Sunday, baby. Matt Lombardo. What's up, Matt? Good morning.
What's up, Paul? Great to see you. And it might not be a Jets game day, but it might be even bigger than that because we have the trade deadline coming up in about 72 hours. The Jets, as they're constructed this morning, might look not all that similar to how they look when you poke your head up on Tuesday afternoon.
Well, that's true. So let's get into it. Before we do, I guess, let's get a couple of these. And Mother Effing Chew gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Hey, now. That membership went to Wesley Thompson. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club, and shout out to MFC. You're officially on our scrolling ticker down below. We have a brand new contest, everybody, and I'll throw it up here on the big screen. One of the coolest items we've ever given away on this show, an autographed Marty Lyons jersey. That's his Alabama jersey, but has all of his Jets accomplishments on the bottom of the jersey. Thank you so much to the Marty Lyons Foundation for sending this along. And if you'll see on that inscription on the left side of the 9, it's specifically signed by Marty to the Boy Green Coffee Club, which is super cool. So a custom autographed jersey. Whoever wins this puppy, which we'll be giving this away on December 1st, so all you have to do is submit your raffle tickets throughout the entire month. $3 a raffle ticket can win you an autographed jersey from Jets legend Marty Lyons, part of the famed New York Sack Exchange, baby.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
And, the money going to charity was cool, too, to purchase the jersey for this giveaway. So it's win-wins all around, baby, which I love. So, hey, now, that's
Hey, before we get going, we got another win that we have to celebrate here. I saw a social media post pop up this week that Boy Green just surpassed, was it 3 million views on the YouTube channel? Do I have that right?
3 million?
Who want to fly with them Jets?
Yes, you are right, Matt Lombardo. That is 3 million views. Yes, on the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Dude, that's incredible. Congratulations. And it's just a testament to what you're building here. On a couple other programs, I've called you the Boy Green rocket ship, and it's really starting to take off. I'm thrilled for you, thrilled to be even a minuscule part of this, and really a believer in the audience that you've built and the content that you create for them. It's a testament to your hard work, and 3 million, onward and upward. Let's get to 6 million next year.
There you go, Matt. Stop. But please keep going. Thank you. God bless. Yeah, in all seriousness, it's amazing. I was telling my fiance how crazy it was because I used to do the show when I first started. I was sitting on my couch in my living room just sort of talking, and no one was really watching. And I'm like, I have no idea where this is going to go. 5 years later, booyah! 3 million views. So absolutely humbled. So thank you, everybody. And keep joining the army. My big goal is not for, although views are great, so keep those coming, but to reach 10,000 subscribers. We're at 80 or almost at 8,200, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
So, we'll keep chipping away. It's pretty cool. And here's something else that the Jets are going to have to chip away at. What they want to do ahead of the trade deadline. So this came out from NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero on the Rich Eisen show, and I put it up in poll form so you guys can engage with that poll right now on YouTube. If the Jets received a trade offer, this is for the poll, and then I'll work in the quote from Tom Pelissero. If the Jets received a trade offer of a first-round pick plus for Quinnen Williams, would you trade him ahead of the deadline? Yes, I'll help him pack, or no, he's too important. So keep voting on YouTube. We'll get to that. But apparently the Jets may have to vote on that in their building to actually pull off the move, because according to Tom Pelissero, he fully anticipates that the Jets are going to have those kind of offers on the table. Here was Tom when asked about the Jets on the Rich Eisen show. Quinnen Williams is a name I would continue to keep an eye on. He's a guy who's still young, especially at a position where he could play for a long time, but you'd be getting potential value there. The price on Quinnen Williams, I would anticipate, is a first-round pick and more. You might actually have those offers in that range for Quinnen. If you're looking to accelerate your rebuild, making those types of big, bold decisions is one way you could do it. So I would keep an eye on the Jets. They aren't actively shopping Quinnen, but it would not shock me at a minimum if they have those offers in front of them over the next 4 days. This interview is taking place on Friday. That'll give them something to think about on Tuesday. So I say all that to say, Matt, difficult decision here for the Jets. Quinnen is 27 years of age, former first-team All-Pro, one of your 6 elected team captains, second longest tenured player on the team, one of your best players on the team, if not the best player on the team. But, man, a first-round pick plus is a lot of ammunition to do a lot of different things with. If you're the Jets, what do you do here if those offers are on the table?
I think the Quinnen Williams conversation comes down to how far away do you believe you are, right? Do you think that you can utilize the cap space this offseason, a top 2 or 3 draft to get a quarterback, tactical spending at wide receiver, upgrading some key spots on the defensive line, that you think that you can contend like the Patriots are this year in a 2 to 3 year window? If that's the case, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to trade Quinnen Williams in a move that I think would rock that locker room. I think that it would set Aaron Glenn back a bit in terms of his head coaching trajectory and where this franchise is going. But the flip side of that coin is, if you're taking a 5-year, we're going to slow build this thing, but do it right to the point that when we do get good, we're going to be Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, Eagles type of good, where you're competing for Super Bowls and championship game berths every single year. If you're taking the long-term view, Quinnen Williams is the most valuable piece on that roster. And if you can get 1 or 2 first-round picks and you can bring in another wide receiver, or you can bring in another cornerback to put opposite of Sauce Gardner, then I think those are conversations that you have to entertain. But just on the surface, I have a really hard time parting with a homegrown 27-year-old all-pro caliber pillar of the locker room player when you're trying to get buy-in with your new head coach, when you're trying to set the foundation. I don't know how tearing out a foundational building block makes you better, even in the long term.
Especially since, again, what we're talking about here, and maybe, Tom is just talking on the show, maybe the Jets can get a player too, but let's be honest, even if they get that, let's say they get a first and a fourth and a random player that maybe is starting worthy, you're going to be worse the moment that you send that offer to the league office, because Quinnen Williams, again, is arguably your best player, and you're stripping him from the team in theory in the middle of the season. Like, you're going to get worse, and the Jets are trying to win games and establish a culture and everything of AG. So again, I think it's a complicated decision. I see we have a lot of people chiming in their thoughts. We'll go to Alon first. If a 1 and a 3 is offered for Quinnen, drive him to the airport and wish him good luck. All right, there you go from Alon. JD Jet says, I love Quinnen for real, but he hasn't been at the all-pro level since he got paid. I hate to say it. If we got a 1+ offer, you got to take it. And he says, I wrote this wearing a Quinnen hoodie. Oh, boy. I'll try not to let Quinnen know that you said that, JD Jets. Appreciate that. Taylor Sterling says the deal should start with 2 number 1s. And maybe a bidding war ensues. Again, Tom suggested that multiple of these offers could be on the table, so maybe that does it as well. And Donald Johnson says, congratulations, Boy Green. You done made it, baby. We can only Donald Johnson, and thank you guys for the kind words here on Quinnen Williams. So we'll keep an eye on.
If you don't think you're going to contend, right, then you trade Quinnen Williams and you get the draft capital and you try to start over. But you need to make the move understanding that you're starting over. You're doing it, alienating some of the players in your locker room in the process, and you're taking away one of the best defensive players from a defensive-minded head coach. I understand the draft picks and the draft capital and needing to load up and start stringing together significant draft classes. But to your point, BG, you don't know You don't know what you're getting with that first round pick, but you know that Quinnen Williams for the next 2 or 3 years is still a top 15 or so player at his position and maybe better than that.
100%. And I think you nailed it. The question is a question to the question, and you answer it. The Jets have to have this honest conversation about how far away are we? And if they say we're the Patriots of this year, next year, okay, then you keep Quinnen Williams. If you're like, I don't know, man, maybe in a couple of years, maybe worth something, they're like, well, all right. Because here's the thing. It's not just trade Quinnen or not trade Quinnen. This offseason, you're going to have to pay Quinnen. Or trade him if you're not going to pay him, because he's got $5 million in guaranteed money left in his deal. So he's going to want that addressed. And if you don't want to address that, then maybe that addresses the question in its entirety. So again, that's another piece of this puzzle, certainly here. But Quinnen is not the only one that apparently is up for grabs potentially as a player that could be moved. One of the most popular things here for the Jets in terms of position is pass rusher. We've heard Jermaine Johnson's name thrown out. We've heard Will McDonald's name thrown out. We've heard Michael Clemens, perhaps more on that later. So a lot of defensive end action here, and it seems like this is one of those supply-demand things, Matt Lombardo. There's a lot of teams always looking for pass rushers in the National Football League.
A lot of teams always looking for pass rushers, but there are also a handful of contending teams that might be a pass rusher away from winning a Super Bowl this year. And in a lot of ways, I really think the Jets control the pass rusher market going into Tuesday, because you saw the 49ers make a trade with the Patriots for Keon White. That feels like a supplementary move rather than the big move. You look at the Detroit Lions, they've been trying for 2 years to find a complementary pass rusher opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. The Eagles convinced Brandon Graham to come out of retirement after 9 months. They're desperate in need of a pass rusher. But the Jets have two of them. And Jermaine Johnson, when you look around the league, if we don't know what the Bengals are doing with Trey Hendrickson, and Hendrickson is a little bit banged up, which kind of adds another layer to that conversation. But if Trey Hendrickson is staying put and the Bengals are trying to contend until Joe Burrow gets back, maybe in December, then Jermaine Johnson suddenly becomes the prize of that market. And when you have 3 or 4 contending teams, not to mention a slew of others, the Kansas City Chiefs could use a pass rusher. The Buffalo Bills would probably come knocking, but they'd probably get turned away like a trick-or-treater when you're out of candy because you're trading in the division. But you have all of these teams. There's not much supply. And the Jets could really spark a bidding war, and they could say, okay, you want Jermaine Johnson, best and final by 3:15 Tuesday. And you kind of look through, you pick out the best offer, and you make the trade. But I think that if we're talking about the edge rusher market, outside of maybe Bradley Chubb in Miami, maybe Arnold Ebiketie in Atlanta, who could use a change of scenery, the Jets are in the catbird seat here, in my opinion, because they have one of the best, youngest up-and-coming rushers at the position. And it makes a lot of sense to move on and get a draft capital here.
Yeah, and Rich Savini reported this morning that the teams continue to call on Jermaine Johnson. So it's been a whole lot of drama. Insiders have reported that trade rumors were flying around. Jermaine sees that. He goes to the front office like, what the hell's going on here? They're like, don't worry, man. You're good. You're good. And he goes to social media and tweets out the Wolf of Wall Street gif, I ain't leaving. And everyone's like, woo! But apparently, despite those conversations, teams continue to call and pressure the Jets. So we'll see if they end up moving off that at all. I just want to go back to Quinnen for a second. If the Jets decide to pull the trigger here on this, who are the teams that are making these offers to the New York Jets? Who are some of those team fits that, again, that they believe in that same conversation about edge rusher you're just talking about, where they think they're on the precipice and making that push over the top could be aggressive enough move in the middle of a season to add a difference maker? Who are some of those teams that make sense potentially for Quinnen Williams?
I think the Cowboys make a lot of sense because they have that extra first-round pick from the Micah Parsons trade. They got Kenny Clark back, but he's a little bit banged up now, and that move hasn't really paid the kind of dividends that they would have hoped that it would. I think the Cowboys make some sense because they're going to want to use that first-round pick to fix that anemic defense of theirs. You can look at maybe the Kansas City Chiefs to pair alongside a Chris Jones. You send those two along the interior, and good luck to opposing quarterbacks up the middle. It's going to be really fascinating because the fact that he's 27 years old, you could look at teams that are on the cusp of contending, like a Jacksonville Jaguars. You could look at the Jags. They want to bolster that defense. You drop him in there. You're trading in the AFC, which is kind of risky if you're the Jets and you don't want to face him on your uphill climb. But I think those are some of the teams to watch. In San Francisco, they seem to always have injuries everywhere. Go get yourself a big insurance policy up the middle.
Also, going back to Jermaine for a second, this is something Diana Rossini reported yesterday. The Jets and Eagles apparently have been having conversations about a second deal. They already cracked one on Michael Carter II, and maybe once you do it once, it's a little easier to do it a second time, perhaps. But the Jets and Eagles have talked about a Jermaine Johnson trade, one of those teams that apparently is looking for pass rushers, and the Jets apparently have drawn the line in the sand at a second-round pick or better. So, hey, Eagles, if you want this is what it's going to take. Do you think, even though now that they've had conversations, those conversations have now sort of gone public here, would the Eagles be willing to pay that iron price to get a player in a season where obviously they've been competing for Super Bowls very often over the last decade, and they'd like to continue those ventures? Is Howie Roseman the kind of guy that would pull the trigger on that, or not?
I think Howie Roseman is the kind of guy who will pull the trigger on a blockbuster for Jermaine Johnson, but there's a flip side of that coin. They're going to have to pay a lot of guys over the next couple of years here. You have the Jalen Carter contract coming up. Nakobe Dean is up in a couple of years as well. Marcus Smith is going to have to get paid. There's a lot of up-and-coming players they need to take care of. But the thing about the Eagles is they have something like 12 draft picks going into next year's draft. So do you want to control the board and move up and down on draft night and make blockbuster trades to get a better position? Or do you look at this thing and you look at your desperate need for a pass rusher? You look at the drama surrounding A.J. Brown. You look at Saquon Barkley for a stretch of the season having this precipitous drop-off. Is the window as wide open as they might hope that it is? And if it isn't, if you don't think that you're going to be the same team to beat, if you're not going to be heads and shoulders above the Detroit Lions or the Green Bay Packers or even the Dallas Cowboys in your own division in a year or two, you go get Jermaine Johnson for that second-round pick. You go chase a Lombardi this year. So I think that the high wire that Howie Roseman is going to have to walk is, are they going to be able to make the cap space work to make Jermaine Johnson a part of this thing without disrupting the core, versus going all in to win a Super Bowl this year? And they've been nothing but aggressive. So I think there's a really good chance that if Jermaine Johnson does get moved, Philadelphia is a big part of that conversation. I think they would throw their weight around here a little bit.
All right, Matt, you've got all your Eagles connections. Fly, Eagles, fly. Well, Jet fans need the scoopage, okay? They struck that trade with the Philadelphia Eagles, sending off Michael Carter II, improving some draft position, saving some cap space, but they also picked up wide receiver John Metchie III. And I know we didn't see him a lot with Philadelphia. They've got first world problems over there, for Pete's sake. But the Jets are getting John Metchie III. It's his third team now in a matter of months since August, because he was originally on Houston. What the hell are the Jets getting here? What information do you have? Because we just don't know a whole heck of a lot of this guy outside of a Google search. So what can you tell us about John Metchie III?
Yeah, former fourth-round pick out of Alabama, and he was a guy who had a lot of upside, a lot of potential coming out of that Alabama system. But then you had the health issues that kind of torpedoed the early part of his career. And he gets supplanted by Nico Collins, who becomes one of the top wide receivers in the league. Tank Dell has a breakout season. He becomes expendable. He goes to Philadelphia, and there's this thought that he could be a number 2 caliber receiver as their number 3, alongside A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. That never really happened either, and I don't know that it's because it didn't work out with John Metchie or because Jahan Dotson supplanted him over the last few weeks. But the big thing in Philadelphia is it's such a run-oriented system, both funneling through Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts' mobility, that there are only so many targets to go around. So I don't know how much what John Metchie wasn't in Philadelphia as a product of John Metchie, the player, versus the Eagles' offense, the scheme, and the other pieces that they have with Dallas Goedert and Smith and Brown and Barkley and all those things. But I think from a Jets perspective, we've talked about them needing to go get a receiver since we started doing this back in July. So if nothing else, this is a lottery ticket for the Jets. You put him at number 2 outside opposite Garrett Wilson. You see if he upgrades your passing game, creates some optionality for Justin Fields. Not necessarily a field stretcher. He's somebody who's going to really thrive in that middle of the field, the medium type of routes. So I think this could be a really interesting fit. If there's a career to reignite for John Metchie, the Jets might be a great spot to do it.
Again, we're speaking with NFL insider Matt Lombardo. He's got a direct link in the YouTube description down below, mattlombardo.nfl.substack.com. If you click that, it transports you in a DeLorean all the way to his website, where you can check out all some juicy deets, and we'll get some more plugs on that from Matt in a little bit. people in the room, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe here on YouTube. 100 of those 300, 33%, one mathematician might say, could be on YouTube, could be liking the video. So make sure you guys take full advantage of that. Get your participation trophy. And speaking of participation trophies, continue to vote on our poll of the day that's there on YouTube. Tom Pelissero believes the Jets are going to have multiple offers from multiple teams that include a first-round pick plus for Quinnen Williams. If the Jets receive those offers, would you accept it? Yay or nay? We'll be getting into that in the phone lines after Matt Lombardo here in a little bit. Matt, let's go to another thing here. It's this. Diana Rossini says the Jets are seeking a third-round draft choice for Breece Hall. He's only got a half year left on his contract before ultimately he's scheduled to be a free agent next year. It seems like no team has been willing to bite at that price yet, and the Jets seem unwilling to waver on it. So either this is the deal or we're keeping him, and then we're going to figure it out during the offseason. Right call by the Jets, and again, same sort of thing we talked about with Jermaine in the second-round pick line that's drawn in the sand. Do you think anyone bites on a third-round pick?
That's really interesting because you look at the impact that running backs make, it's really system dependent. And I think that when you look at Breece Hall, he's such an explosive between the tackles runner, but you need to find a system and a scheme that utilizes and maximizes that kind of running back in a franchise that's willing to pay that kind of price. The Chiefs continue to jump to mind to me because I talk to scouts around the league who they look at the offense and they look at the weapons on the perimeter and they look at Mahomes and they see the explosiveness, but they just still haven't address the running game. But perpetually and annually and perennially, the Chiefs aren't a team that makes a big trade deadline move, especially at the running back position. So if we take Kansas City out of the equation, you're looking at maybe, again, the Dallas Cowboys have extra draft capital. They have the number one offense in the league right now. But Jaden Blue has strung together a couple of really nice games. So do you pay the premium to bring in a Breece Hall type of running back? I'm not so sure. A third-round pick seems like it's teetering right on the brink. It's one of those trades in fantasy football that if you make it and you feel bad about it and your opponent feels bad about it, it probably means it's a good trade. And I think that third-round values is probably where Breece Hall is. It's just a matter of finding a team that needs a running back that badly to make the trade.
All right, two more rumors here. One a buy and one a sell and one a buy, which is surprising. But let's get to this. Zach Rosenblatt predicted a couple days ago of The Athletic that Quincy Williams, the Jets' former first-team All-Pro linebacker, will be traded before the deadline to the San Francisco 49ers, reuniting with Robert Saleh for a day 3 pick. Somewhere in the 4th or 5th round range is his expectation. Rich Cimini this morning wrote that same rumor saying, man, that's the team to watch. That makes a lot of sense. Quincy Williams, day 3 pick. Also, of course, you always got to factor in Atlanta, who has Jeff Ulbrich, Jets' former defensive coordinator, so there's ties there, and Quincy Williams. So if NFL teams are looking for linebacker, it sounds like Quincy Williams, who, again, another rental player who is set to be a free agent in 2026, is available for the right price there, Matt.
Yeah, I'm buying it here because, number one, you look at John Lynch, always aggressive at the trade deadline. You look at the move to bring Christian McCaffrey in a couple of years ago. You look at the need that they have at linebacker with Fred Warner going down. Reuniting Williams with Robert Saleh makes a lot of sense. You see what he's done with Bryce Huff since he's got his hands on him. In the most unsurprising improvement that you've ever seen, going from a guy who couldn't get on the field in Philadelphia to a sack master once again in San Francisco. Between the injuries, the 49ers habit of aggressiveness, the Saleh connection, I think it makes a ton of sense, and this is a deal that I think could get done early Tuesday.
All right, and the last one is this. According to Rich Cimini, don't rule out the Jets purchasing selectively. Going to the grocery store going, maybe, possibly one of these, and it's this. The Jets could be looking for a safety or offensive lineman, who isn't, I'm sure, in the National Football League. Darren Mucci has a very short history here as the Jets general manager, but it's been some nice returns on trades. Harrison Phillips, the veteran, has stabilized the Jets' interior on the defensive line. Juwan Briggs has shown a little pass rush juice, and then perhaps the most notable of them all is Jarvis Brownlee Jr. from Tennessee. That even opened up and made Michael Carter expendable to even be traded to the Eagles. So he's had good returns here. So apparently some selective buying could be happening for the Jets at safety and offensive line. You wouldn't think that at 1-7, but hey, you know what? The Jets are always looking for a good deal. You can't blame them.
Always looking for a good deal, but I think I'm selling this one because I don't know how you get better at the trade deadline when you're this far out of it, especially long-term. When you're taking the long-term view of this being a rebuild, I don't know how trading draft capital, unless you're getting an elite offensive guard who's going to be a Pro Bowl caliber player that's going to be in your building for the next 3 years, or you're getting a safety who's a Pro Bowl caliber safety who you're going to drop in your defense for the next 3 years. Teams don't necessarily trade those guys, but if you can find one and you find the right deal and it's a fourth round pick for a Pro Bowl caliber safety, sure, why not? But the Jets need to be in asset acquisition mode here. It's not about trading away or trading your assets to bring in a player who might help you go from 1-7 to 3-8. Like, what are we talking about here?
It's a good point too, because I get the immediate need for safety. My boy here locally in Syracuse, Andre Cisco, who the Jets signed to a 1-year deal during free agency, tore his pec, so he's likely going to be out for the year, which is unfortunate. But so I get they need a safety now, but where they are, I don't know if that level of aggression is necessary. Sort of feels like rearranging the deck chairs of the Titanic in that sort of situation. Blunt, but nonetheless acceptable. Again, we have 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Matt, give us a sneak peek. What is it all about? Matt Lombardo, NFL.substack.com. And I love, there's some activities that you can be drinking a certain liquid at a certain time of night and certain dabbling that could be happening with some National Football League topics. Matt, can you tell us more?
Yeah, of course. Between the hash marks over on Substack, it's one of the best-selling and top 40 fastest-growing publications all across the Substack platform. Cover the entire NFL. Monday morning, you get the 4 Downs column. If you used to read Peter King in the morning, Monday morning, Football Morning in America, come read 4 Downs. It's sourced with insight from people across the league, agents, scouts, executives, coaches, their thoughts on the biggest storylines across the NFL. Fridays, we have the mailbag where folks can ask me their questions, and I'll pose them to my Rolodex of sources, agents, scouts, executives, coaches, players, former players, the like, to get their thoughts, their insights on the biggest storylines around the NFL. The podcast every Tuesday, and on certain occasions on a Sunday night, we are known to host a bit of a nightcap recap. It's a little bit looser. It's a little more fun. Pour myself a cocktail. We go over, what we saw across the league on Sunday. Your boy here, Boy Green, was on last week. He was a amazing guest. You can check that out on my YouTube channel at Matt Lombardo 975. But Paul, here's the thing. This is the holiday season, of course, and people who follow the news, they see that SNAP benefits didn't go out yesterday, which is really unfortunate. And something like 42 million people now are plunged into food insecurity or hunger. And I'd like to help, and I've been trying to help for the last week or so. If you become an annual paid subscriber to Between the Hash Marks, a 12-month plan, I'm going to extend your subscription to 13 months to get the extra month, and I'm going to be donating 10% of the proceeds to a food pantry in the home city of your hometown, of your favorite team. So if you're a Jets fan and you subscribe, we're going to donate 10% of the proceeds to a food pantry in New York, 10% of the proceeds to Phil Abundance in Philadelphia, and a food bank in my community to feed people near me as well. We're trying to put food on the table across America. So far, we've made donations in Washington, D.C., Green Bay, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Buffalo, and Philadelphia. Would love to fill the map, fill up the board. So if anybody wants to level up your NFL coverage for the rest of the season, come on over. We'd love to have you and do a little good together in the process.
Matt, that's beautiful, and I really appreciate you doing that. And it works out for everybody. It's a plus for everybody. Before Matt and Reese saying Matt is a fucking angel. He has a great heart. Thank you for that very specific lingo. Very nice. Thank you, Reese. Before you get out of here, Matt, we have a super chat asking you something here. So let's get this. And I've heard some of these rumors.
Wow.
Shout out to EZ here, sending in a $5 super chat. If the Philadelphia Eagles want someone from us, maybe we could get Landon Dickerson. He was an award-winning center in college, not thrilled about playing guard. Is that true? There's a little bit of beef in that locker room about the position Landon Dickerson is playing?
I think that it's just about finding the right combination with him. He's also a little bit banged up. And I think if the Jets want to take the long-term view, Dickerson would be a tremendous asset for them. Viewed as one of the more important players along that Eagles offensive line, I don't know that the Eagles would trade him away. But if you're talking about bringing in Jermaine Johnson, and instead of it being a second-round pick for Jermaine Johnson. It's Dickerson in the third or Dickerson in the fourth. I think that's how you get Howie Roseman to really pull the trigger. But they are not a team that looks to weaken themselves along either line of scrimmage. A core value in Philadelphia is dominate both lines. They like Landon Dickerson a lot. They think he's a critical player to what they do. But if the Jets can get him, that would certainly be an upgrade.
It certainly would, but yeah, it just seems very hard to convince another team, especially the Eagles who are leading the NFC East, say, hey, I know whatever you want from us. How about one of your key offensive linemen? That may be difficult, but hey, if drama's brewing in Philly about his position, phenomenal. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to improve the Jets' trenches. Good super chat. You guys can always welcome to send in those super chats throughout the show. Matt, you're the best, baby. Appreciate you. By the next time we talk, we're going to have some trade deadlines to sort out, and the Jets are again playing football coming up a week from today. So can't wait. Matt, enjoy the day, brother.
You too, brother. Enjoy your bye week.
There you go. We'll try. That's our NFL insider extraordinaire, Matt Lombardo. He joins us every Sunday here on the program. We got 400 people in the room, and 300 of those 400, or 100, of those 400 are watching on YouTube. Folks, I see we got like 40 likes. Like the video. What are you waiting for? An invitation? Well, booyah. Here it is. Like the video. The like button is literally right there. I'm looking at you. We're making eye contact. This is getting weird. Like the friggin' video, baby. We do New York Jets content every single day. I appreciate super chats and memberships because don't you guys want raffle tickets to win this? One of the sickest prizes we've ever given away on this YouTube channel. It's a autographed Marty Lyons Alabama jersey with all of his Jets accomplishments. He played for the Jets from 79 to 89. He was a former first-round pick. He was part of the New York Sack Exchange, a former NFL Man of the Year, College Football Hall of Fame, NY Jets Ring of Honor player in the class of 2013, and he autographed it to the Boy Green Coffee Club, and also on the other part of that autograph is Roll Tide, which, hey, I'm not a big Alabama guy, so if you are, God bless. And then the Marty Lyons autograph. A custom piece. It's awesome to have a chance at this sweet-ass gift. All you have to do is purchase a raffle ticket. How much is a raffle ticket? $3. And how do you get a raffle ticket? If you hit the money sign on YouTube, you can gift channel memberships. You can purchase your own Boy Green Coffee Club membership. All is in the YouTube description down below, or super chatting questions like EZ just did. EZ has a raffle ticket. MFC has a raffle ticket. Jared B has a raffle ticket. My mother has 7 raffle tickets. She's trying to get in the mix. Hey, all right, works for me. And we also have our number one Austrian Jet fan as well. So, folks, this is one of the coolest prizes we've ever given out. We're going to give this away on December 1st. So you have all month long to send in your raffle tickets for this cool, beautiful piece. It's actually sitting right behind me, but the picture's a little easier so you guys get a better look at it. It's sitting right behind me in a beautiful bubble-wrapped box. The Marty Lyons jersey, which we unveiled yesterday on the show. Again, a sweet-ass gift, and we're going to be doing many, many more of these awesome giveaways. We do them every single month here on the channel. But you guys have questions. You guys have comments. Plus, we need to review the poll results. We'll do this. We'll take a quick hep time out, and then your phone calls are welcome next. The phone calls are exclusive to YouTube. That's youtube.com/BoyGreen25. So if you'd like to call into the program, now is the time to do so. We'll see you folks in just a minute.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Boy Green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. The New York Jets football club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets. Boy Green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Yeah. Nice. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go!
Hep, hep, hooray! Woohoo! Yeah, the hipster, baby. One of the best in the business. I love that he gets to welcome in our callers every single day on this channel. And that little scene you saw there, that little clip, was from our tailgate, baby. New York Jets, Dallas Cowboys in week 5. We're going to be doing tailgates every single year. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. And if you are a member of the channel, part of the Boy Green Coffee Club, my YouTube membership group, then you have access to our Discord channel. That's where we talk about our annual events and other things that we'll be doing, so you'll get a heads up before anybody else. So again, another perk of being a Boy Green Coffee Club member in our YouTube membership group is having access to the Discord channel. Guess what? Only $3 a month, and you get a raffle ticket to win that Marty Lyons jersey. So it's the ultimate win-win, baby. Make sure you take full advantage. All right, without further ado, let's go to the phone lines. Easy. Oh, Easy cut out. Sorry, Easy. We're just going to you, and technical difficulties kicked you off. But I will say this, Easy, because I think that player that you mentioned, Landon Dickerson, may be cracking of the code for Indy Jets. I think that was the player that he was referencing yesterday, where we were playing the mystery game, where it's like, he's a guy who wants to play center, but he's playing guard, and he's a little all over the place. I think Easy, you may be Inspector Clouseau, and you may have figured that one out. Let's confirm that right now, perhaps, with Indy Jets. Indy?
Hey, good morning, BG. Happy bye week, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, works for me, and sort of weird time at the trade deadline, and apparently, as Matt said, 72 hours. So, yeah, this is a weird time right now.
Yeah. The Landon Dickerson take is a great take. He was one of I had two players.
Oh, okay.
But Landon was one of them, and he's in the same situation as this other center playing guard. So actually, one of them, there was somebody in the chat that got it right yesterday.
Oh man, I missed it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, more speculation to come.
Anyway,
yeah.
I love Allen. And we all know that Allen has some wild takes.
Sure.
But the comparison that a college team could compete in a NFL team or a certain college player, he's talking about this Smith out of Ohio State that could be a top 10 NFL wide receiver today.
Oh, Jeremiah Smith. Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith. Yeah. These are just kids. And Jeremiah Smith couldn't compete against the Bengals defense. So he was basically just trashing the Jets by saying a college kid could do anything that the Jets could do against that terrible Bengals. And I mean, come on, there's every year there's always the talk of a best college team playing the worst NFL team. Yes, and right. This year we just happen to have the title of, being the worst NFL team. And if you were to take an Ohio State against the New York Jets, it would be 50-0 by halftime.
Yeah.
And these college kids, these guys that watch so much college ball, don't realize that Smith he's had one good game this year, 100+ yard game, against nobody that's going to make it. There's no corners that are going to be drafted out of the teams that he played. They're not going to be top tier corners. So, it's okay to have that theory of, oh, look how great Smith is against a lesser defense. But then when the Jets have a good game against a lesser defense, well, then it's just the defense's fault. You can't have both, dude. You can't have both. You can't sit there and say one team played really well and then turn around and say, well, the Jets didn't play very well. They just played a bad team. Yeah. And so I just do not get I mean, when a kid comes out of college, look at Marvin Harrison Jr.
I thought he was
phenomenal at Ohio State
to be great, and he hasn't been.
Yeah, and he hasn't been. He's not been horrible.
He's been all right, but he hasn't been the superstar we all thought he was going to be.
Exactly, and that's the welcome to the NFL moment. All these guys get it, and maybe he can turn into something great, and maybe Smith can be something great. But as of today, no, these guys are not. NFL tier. So even the worst defensive team. I mean, if Ohio State played Cincinnati today, Ohio State probably still wouldn't score against that Cincinnati defense. And as bad as that Cincinnati defense is, they're still NFL quality, which is still a higher tier than the best on the in college. So yeah, that whole talk is just. I thought Allen had some football knowledge, but when he starts talking college against the NFL, that's ridiculous. But anyway, I don't really have any. We don't have any Jets talking points.
No.
I don't. Here we are Sunday, and the Jets haven't made really any significant trades for or traded out.
No,
I don't know. It gets down to, it's like an auction. It gets down to the last day before there's any really major moves, I guess. I don't know. But
that's probably true, right? That people don't give, like, I imagine, which just happened for our last raffle, right? Like, they could have given raffle tickets all month. Then at the end, boom, 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 oh, Jesus, it's flying all over the place. So maybe the trade thing is true, right? The Jets are just sitting there going, any calls coming in, and all of a sudden, boom, their phones start lighting up when there's a sense of urgency, less time to really think, and they're all sort of bombarding you there. So, yeah, maybe more, higher John Gruden says it. Deadlines make deals.
Yeah, and you got a whole Sunday to play of football, Sunday and some Monday.
True. Right.
If a certain player gets hurt, there's some injuries that could happen. Hey, now we're in desperate need of a running back, or now we're in desperate need of a defensive lineman. That value goes up if they lose a player. So that teams that may not make a trade, may not be in the trade market today or this morning, may be in the trade market this afternoon. So, that's probably why we haven't heard a whole lot. There's a lot of talk of this and talk of that, but then we'll see what happens after today. And if, hopefully nobody gets hurt and we don't have to worry about that. But
of course,
that's always seems to be the trigger of, an injury, and then, one injury away from making a blockbuster deal. And, I don't know if San Francisco or any of those other teams would overpay for a player like Quincy or even Quinnen,
sure.
But if they're on the cusp of making the playoffs and they have a certain injury, hey, we've got to go all in on Quincy. Might be a fourth or a third. Might even be a pick swap. We have to give Quincy a sixth and we get a third out of it, or something that would make the deal happen. I can see that.
Yeah.
But that's probably why we haven't heard a whole lot of, just trade rumors. That's why we haven't seen a lot of action yet. And we'll get through Sunday and then Monday and Tuesday. We may see some action, or maybe the Jets will be buying.
Ooh, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. So we'll see. But hey, great. It's great seeing everybody in the morning coffee club, and it's always a pleasure, BG.
Appreciate you, Uncle Indy, and thanks for calling into the program. Yes. Man, so much happening. And we'll have all that conversation because we do Boy Green Meets Woody on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. So that will be as the trade deadline is happening and wrapping up. So we'll have a live NFL trade deadline show. I know a couple of people asked about that. Yes. So we will have that show live coming up at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. We have a massive super chat coming through. Every time I get a super chat here from my daughters, Ryluna.
Wow.
Shout out, Frank. Appreciate you, pal. And you got 6 raffle tickets for our contest this month and $1 away from another raffle ticket. Hep needs to do a parody song from Pat Benatar, Hell is for Children. Change it to Hell is for Jet Fans. Come on, Hep. You can do it. Oh, my God. That'd be hilarious. And I'm sure that's well within Hep's musical capabilities. So that'd be good. That'd be very fitting. I keep seeing all these other teams having all this success in dancing. I'm Squidward in the house looking out, watching the other people having fun. It's eventually going to happen for us. And when it does, it's going to be sweet. But that could be very fitting, Frank. But thank you so much for the 6 raffle tickets, buddy, and the super chats coming in. I appreciate you guys. Money sign on YouTube. Shout out to Frank, baby. He's officially on the scrolling ticker down below. Someone else is on that scrolling ticker. Let's get to him. It's Easy, baby. What's up, Easy?
Good morning.
Yeah, what's going on? And man, that Landon Dickerson thing got Matt Lombardo thinking. Good super chat, man.
Yeah, I had heard that from one of the pundits. I can't remember if it was ESPN or one of the others or one of the other shows or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if he's disgruntled. I know the reports say he's not, but he's not going to sit there and publicly say he's
Yeah,
disgruntled.
of course. Right.
Nobody does that. I mean, but I do know that I know the Butkus Award is the college award for the best linebacker who was the guy who was the wide receiver on the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, Casper.
Yes.
Biletnikoff. Yes, for
That's
the award.
the award for best wide receiver in the college draft and that kind of thing. Well, apparently this Landon Dickerson guy, he won the award for the best center.
Ah, yes.
So in college, so he's
the Remington Trophy. The Remington Trophy. Yes.
Yeah, he won that. So I can understand why he feels a little bit lost at left guard. And he's a good guard. I mean, he's good, but I mean, it's kind of like what we have with Tippmann,
right,
playing right guard. But I would love to get him because AVT is. I love AVT with all my heart and soul.
Of course,
he's gone. I mean, unless we keep him on a, hey man, you got to prove you can stay on the field deal. That's what we're going to have to offer him, buddy. We got teams calling up for you, but they're not offering us anything. We can't hand you the swamp. We just can't. We can't hand it to you because you're hurt all the time. But on a team friendly deal, we could keep it. If not, we can do a sign and trade.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, get a reasonable signing. So this way it makes it more palatable. All right, he's already under contract with a team-friendly deal, and he's available. That kind of thing. But, I mean, if the Eagles truly, truly want a guy the caliber of Jermaine Johnson, they're going to have to give up something. And draft pick, to me, doesn't cut it. I want someone who I know is coming here who's already got the chops. Someone who's already made an NFL roster and is a good player. And the fact that he can play guard or center, that would mean that we have two guards that can play center.
Yeah.
Tippmann and Dickerson.
Yeah.
Is it Dickinson or Dickerson?
Dickerson. Yeah.
Right. Because that's the thing you need. Two guys that can play at a high level. And I would rather see Dickerson there because Tippmann tends to snap the ball a little high sometimes.
He has that history, yes.
So, thank God. I mean, if Justin Fields makes it, if anyone's going to be able to handle a high snap, it's going to be him, and because he's got the speed and the power to recoup in a broken play.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. And if they want Jermaine Johnson, and I do not want to trade Jermaine Johnson because he's a 4-down player.
Yeah,
because he can play the run and he can rush. Someone asked me, I think it was AA, said, "Does he really rush the passer that good?" And I was like, "It doesn't matter. He is a pass rusher, and he's great against the run. He's an all-around player. You don't get rid of guys that can do everything. You just don't."
Yeah, you want to build around those guys.
I would rather take a flyer on maybe getting rid of McDonald, even though he's younger, because he's not that good against the run. He's not what I call an all-around player. He's definitely great, but I think JJ's better.
Yeah, I do too.
So, I mean, if they want to do that Dickerson for for McDonald and maybe some draft swaps and some kind of thing to make it palatable for everybody, that would be the role I would go. And then the O-line's done. It's solid because we still have AVT and we still have who's our left guard?
Simpson. John Simpson.
We still have Simpson. Yeah. So I mean that's shit. Think about even if Simpson doesn't play and he's depth.
Right. You have optionality. Sure. Right.
Yeah. I mean you got then 6 guys that are starters. Like not backups. You got 6 starters on that team, bona fide, and they can move around. So
that's true.
I mean, because AVT can play tackle and guard, and then we have if we get Dickerson, we have 2 guys that can play guard and center.
That's true as well. Yeah.
And we still do have Myers. Maybe we could package Myers with somebody if we got, but we'd have to get Dickerson first.
Yeah, right. To be able to do that secondary deal. That's correct.
And I guarantee you, if I'm thinking about it, and I'm a yutz, but if I'm thinking about this, the war room's putting all these scenarios together because they got to think 3, 4, 5 games ahead down the line. But we got to do something where we're not actually killing draft capital. It would have to be player swaps in this case. Because I don't want to give up draft capital because they may, if Justin doesn't pull his shit together this year,
we're going to need a quarterback.
And how I don't like getting first-round quarterbacks.
Of course, yeah. Fuck those guys. Yeah.
Well, it's not that. It's just I'm the guy who wants to build the team first.
Yeah.
Get a stable game-managing quarterback, and then draft a young buck so he can sit back and learn. Like I was watching the game last week, and even though this team lost, Mariota looked pretty good in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
He did. I mean, he looked okay. I don't think the loss was on him. I know he threw an interception where it bounced off of somebody and landed right in the lap of somebody else or something like that.
Sure,
but Marcus Mariota would be maybe a kind of guy that we could have as a bridge. If we decide to draft a young quarterback, we have to have somebody who's had some success at quarterback if we're going to draft a kid. Because you can't just take these kids and throw them in there. I mean, our history shows that. Geno, 7 years in, figured it out. Good quarterback. And now you got Darnold, 5-6 years in, figured it out. With some extra, of course, with good coaching.
Well,
he's a good quarterback now. I mean, we got a bunch of guys. Even Baker Mayfield, it took him a while. He figured it out.
Bounced around,
a really good quarterback. In the old days, these guys never played right away. Think back to Steve Young.
Okay. Yeah.
Steve Young started, I think it was it the USFL?
Yeah, that's correct.
So he had a couple of years there, but that was still considered,
then Tampa Bay before he got to San Francisco, right? Yep.
Hey, look at Vinny Testaverde. His first 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a mess, but once he figured it out, quarterback is probably the hardest position to play in all of sports.
That's probably true. Yeah, that's up there.
Not only do you have to be physically strong,
cerebral,
you got to be smart. You have to have reaction time. I mean, everything's involved. You have to be able to read the pre and post snap defense.
Yeah, both of them.
You have to anticipate. Are they trying to freaking fool me into thinking they're cover 2, or are they going to bring some guy in the box? Halfway through my signals. It's all this stuff is variable. It takes time. It takes 5-6 years to figure that shit out.
It sure does. And easy. I would tell you this. I'm all for it. We posted a Greeny short from our long form conversation, and he says his preference is the Jets draft the quarterback in the first round. They get a veteran, whether that's Justin Fields or whether he proves that or not. Again, still very TBD on that. Or you have to get another guy, and then just don't play the rookie quarterback under any circumstance. Just lock him in a closet with Justin Fields crying, apparently, and then just play your veteran and just play him the whole year and let we're never going to say, geez, that rookie learned too much before he went out there. We're never going to say that. So I think that has to be the play there. If you're the New York Jets, for sure. All right, we got another super chat coming in here. Let me get to that here on the program. Man with Rake. Let's go. Here we go.
Wow.
Man with Rake. You now have a raffle ticket to that Marty Lyons giveaway. Booyah. Quinnen Williams has 17 tackles, 2 per game, 1 sack. Stop the love affair. We have no receivers. Yeah, obviously, Quinnen has not had the dominant year that he's had in the past, although I believe Quinnen, let me pull up the Quinnen Williams sacks. I think he has slightly better statistics than this, but no, he doesn't. Okay. I misremembered old Quinnen here. Yeah, because if you look at Quinnen Williams' history, he's had a nice floor as a player. So put his rookie year out where he's only had 2.5 sacks. Every other year of his career, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, he's had at least 5.5 sacks in all of those seasons, if not more. He's had 6, 5.5, 12, 6, 7. So he's had a nice floor as a player, typically. But obviously, we're halfway through the season. He only has 1 sack, and he's played all these games. It's sort of crazy to think about that he has had these minimal statistics. So, again, if you're just joining us on the show, by the way, like the video, hit subscribe if you guys are watching on YouTube. Tom Pelissero reported that the Jets are basically expected to have multiple offers ahead of the trade deadline to think about a first-round pick plus. on the table. It's up to them whether or not they want to take it. According to you guys on YouTube, we put this up as a poll. If that is the offer that the Jets receive, would you trade him, yes or no? We're currently at 60-40, 60% yes, I'll help him back, 40% no, he's too important. So fans are leaning towards trading him ahead of the deadline if that's your choice. So, Man with Rake, we'll see what happens here. Appreciate the super chat coming in. You guys can keep those flowing here on the program. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Hey, from Man with Rake to Man with Jets Tattoo, Carl, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Boy Green, how are you?
Hey, good. You made it to home safe, I see.
I am off the ship.
Okay,
Thank goodness.
The ship of the cruise or off someone else's ship, like one of these Jets players? Which one?
No, off the cruise and back home.
Okay,
off the cruise and back home. Anyway, I would not trade Jermaine Johnson.
Okay.
I think Jermaine Johnson is a guy, and he's shown it. He truly wants to be a Jet. No, not a lot of guys on 1-7 teams want to truly stay with that team. I mean, he jumped to the Philadelphia Eagles, an instant contender.
Yeah,
but
right.
I think he wants to be a Jet. Now, the one I think Quinnen Williams is tired of being a Jet.
Could be.
I think he's been there 7 years.
Yep.
All losing years.
Yep.
He's a good player. And I think he's thinking, I got maybe 3-4 years left in the league.
Probably more than that. He's 27, so he probably has a few more years than that left. Defensive tackles stay forever.
Yeah, I think I think in the back of his mind, he would say, I'd really like to go to a contender.
Maybe, sure. Look at what he was talking about at the beginning of the offseason. Sure looked like he wanted to.
Yeah, and when he comes out and, says, almost apologizes for what he tweets or whatever.
Yes,
I don't think that's his true feelings. I think he's just doing that because, he needs to do that for the team, the organization, make himself look a little bit better.
Sure.
But I really get the feeling, and I think it shows in his play. I think he just doesn't want to be here. I really believe that.
So you trade him? You trade Quinnen?
I'd trade him, yeah. For a first-round pick, definitely.
Yeah, first-round pick plus, apparently, is the reported offers the Jets will be receiving on the table.
Well, I'd take that in a heartbeat. And it's not that I don't like him.
Sure.
I just think that the guy's done his time here, and I don't think his heart's in the Jets anymore. That's just my feeling I get from watching him play.
All right.
But Jermaine Johnson, no. I don't think I'd trade him for anything. I mean,
I like Jermaine a lot.
Some crazy things, but
you never know, right? Yeah,
right. But I think Jermaine Johnson is a guy you want to keep because I think the guy truly loves being a Jet.
Oh yeah,
and
I love this.
I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Other than that, I will let somebody else get on. Thanks a lot. Glad to be home. Glad to be back on board. Okay, thank you.
There he is, Carl, baby. Let's frickin' go. Love having you on the show, Carl. Jets, Jets. Glad to see you're back from the cruise, Carl. Hopefully you enjoyed the heck out of it, buddy. That's awesome. Yeah, I love Jermaine. I said this before last year, and it's a hard thing to describe, I guess, but Jermaine Johnson just has an elite mentality. I don't know. I just love, he just cares about winning so much. He's so invested. And when they don't win, he's friggin' pissed, and he's a flaming rhino. I don't know. I don't want people that just complacent. Oh, we lost. Oh, well, too bad. Next week. What the hell? Come on, man. You should be pissed. So I love that from Jermaine. Again, like the video, hit subscribe here on YouTube. Up next, Pat Benatar enthusiast, Frankie Fingers. Frankie?
You could figure out how old I am by that whole comment.
By the way, if people don't know who Pat Benatar is, that is criminally painful, to be honest, here in 2025.
Yeah, she was wonderful. I loved
I've seen her in concert twice. Yeah.
Oh, you did? I never saw her in concert.
I haven't seen her as the main headline. She's always been. I've gone to a few of these shows where it's Poison, Def Leppard, and maybe Pat Benatar or something like that. So
yeah, she has a phenomenal voice.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, World Series is over. Just want to throw it out there. Everybody knows how much of a baseball fan I am. A phenomenal
Oh my
World
God, the
Series and
series,
phenomenal Game
unbelievable.
7. And
Those poor
sorry, Luca.
Toronto bastards, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, from the ball stuck in the wall to like being this close, and then boop,
Yeah.
you lose. Oh, painful.
So
Oh,
Luca, sorry, man. I was pulling for those Toronto Blue
yeah,
Jays, but
yeah.
anyway.
Sorry, Luca.
I want to throw something out there, and I know I
All
might
right,
get killed. I want to throw it out to you, throw it out to
perfect. Oh,
the
nice.
entire coffee
Okay,
club.
sure.
If we get so we're 1-7.
Yeah,
Been out of it for a while.
that's
Had
true.
some close games. I do
Sure,
not believe we are one of. I believe we're not the worst team in the league. I believe there's teams
I would
out there
agree
in
with
a
that.
much worse position than we are,
Sure.
including the Miami Dolphins. I think they're completely
Oh
screwed
God,
because of their salary
yeah.
cap and the mess they
Two
got.
contract. Oh God.
Right. And our games, we've had a couple blowouts, but some of our games have been close.
Yep.
If we get rid of all these players we're talking about,
Yeah.
I feel like we're going from a 1 to 2 year rebuild to a freaking 5 year rebuild. And
Yeah.
boy, Green, I'm too fucking old for that. Okay, I can't.
Absolutely.
I can't take. I could take 1 year of one more year of okay, winning 5 games, 6 games.
Yeah.
I can't take 5 more years of this shit.
Right.
And I feel. I don't know how you feel or everybody else feels. Like if we get rid of all these players, we're basically starting over again.
That's what
And
I'm afraid of. And again, can you get lucky in the draft? Sure, right?
yeah,
There's
but
exceptional rookies all over the place, but I think at a certain point, right? I get it. We're 1-7, but at a certain point, we'll use the ship analogies everyone's been using all day today. You look at the boat, and you got to pick a couple of people that are going to be with you. That
right.
we're going into battle. You're coming, you're coming, you're coming. We're trading you. Okay, but you guys are the core, and we're keeping you. I don't give a shit who calls for what. You guys are ride or dies. We can't. Everyone just can't be shipped off. Or then who is your basis? Who is sort of the
That's
foundational
exactly right.
pieces here? So
That's
yes, I agree.
that's how I feel about it, and I honestly feel we're maybe a lineman, offensive lineman away,
Mhm.
and a quarterback away. Obviously, I know it's the most important position. I
Yeah,
get it,
right.
and we don't have one unless all of a sudden Fields turns around in the next 10 games. Which, hey,
Yeah,
maybe who knows?
yeah,
But
sure.
I doubt it. But giving everything away, man, we're gonna be sitting here for the next 5 effing years talking about this shit on Halloween, saying, "Oh, now we're rebuilding." I, I don't know.
So
We got to keep
who?
some of these guys. We got to keep. And I
So
get like I get it's a business. You got to figure out
yeah,
okay how much you got to
sure.
pay him, what your salary
Yeah,
cap is, and what you're getting back for him.
yeah.
But if we give away everybody,
So
we're
you
gonna.
tell me, Frankie Fingers. Also, by the way, we have the super chat coming in from MFC. Who's this Pat Benatar dude we keep talking about?
Wow.
God help
Best
us.
shot, MFC. We'll get back to you on that. I'll think about that one. But
God
who
help
do you
us.
want to keep, Frankie? Who do you want to keep together here, and who are you
I
okay
I'm a I'm
throwing
a
off the
big
boat?
I'm a big I'm a big believer in the game is won on the inside, the line,
Yes,
offensive line, defensive line. So
correct.
I'd
Yep.
keep Quinnen. I'm sorry. I'd keep
Okay.
Quinnen. I'd
All
keep
right.
I like Quincy.
Yep.
I could see getting rid of Breece Hall. I have no problem. I think personally, again, might get killed. Running backs are a dime a dozen. I mean, there you could pick one up somewhere.
Fair
So
enough.
he's the one. Breece Hall is the only guy that I'd really consider getting rid of. I wouldn't get rid of JJ. I just think our defense is. It just. I know it hasn't played great, but I think the
Right.
players are there, and we're a
Yeah.
couple players away.
Yeah.
Um, I would even. I mean, is there a wide receiver out there we can go find? I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God, that would be great.
I
Yeah.
mean, and again, next year if we get Mendoza or we get pick up a gap quarterback, it feels completely falls apart in the next 10 games because there's someone out there we could sign. I don't know, but I don't feel like going through this shit for the next 5 years, and I feel like if we get rid of everybody, like we're talking. Every report I'm reading, oh, we're gonna get rid of this guy. Gonna get rid of this guy. I mean, who the fuck's gonna play? A bunch of
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
stringers,
And
and
when I look
I
at the
mean,
wide receivers, to your point, this is why Well, maybe we could get creative here. So you say, like, maybe there's a way to buy. Look at the free agents that are going to be out there. So Mike Evans, he's either going to retire or die a buck, so that's off the
Right.
table. Christian
Yeah.
Kirk, ugh. Debo
No.
Samuel can't stay healthy. Jacoby
No.
Myers is fine, whatever, but I think he's probably going to go to a contender. And then we have Alan Lazard. That's the next name on the list. That's not good. So maybe instead of you
No.
look at that free agent pool and you're like, yikes, that looks questionable. Maybe go make a trade and leapfrog free agency. Find someone who's got years of control, and you give up something, then that sets you up for next year. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I like that creativity. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. It's interesting. I like to hear what the coffee club has to say about it. But
Yeah,
man,
let us know. Frank,
and
thank you
hey,
so much.
everybody, go get a Pat Benatar album. You'll love it.
Yeah. That would be nice. Hit me with your best shot. We'll start working in random Pat Benatar songs in there. A couple of Easter eggs. We'll plan around. We'll see if anyone picks those up. Like I said, I think I've seen Pat Benatar twice in concert. I've seen, like, again, they've been like 3 acts, like Poison, Def Leppard, Pat Benatar. There was maybe Kiss, Lita Ford, who else? Pat Benatar. We've had a couple of combinations where she's the third or opening act. I think Darien Lake, and I've gone to a few other places. I think I've seen Pat twice, and she's spectacular. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Again, 500 people in the room. Appreciate you guys. Like the video, hit subscribe. Let's ride. Go Hawkeyes. Iowa's the pride of Iowa. Alon, joins you.
Love is a Battlefield is one of my favorite songs of all time.
That's a good one. I like that.
I
Very
love
nice.
Pat
Good shout
Benatar.
out.
Few topics. First of all, on the trade deadline, let's talk about the 4 guys that we've mentioned. We've talked about JJ. We've talked about Breece. We've talked about Quinnen. And we've talked about Quincy. Okay, we'll talk about those 4 guys.
Yes.
Out of those 4, I would deal 3 of them.
Okay.
Quinnen, a 1 and a 3 for a guy who's been here 7 years, and I will agree with my arch nemesis, Carl. I don't think he wants to be here anymore. Honestly, I think he's grown frustrated with the franchise. He's lost for 7 years in a row, and I think a fresh start would be advantageous for the rest of his career. If a 1 and a 3 is thrown at us, I would drive him to the airport and I would make that deal. Okay.
And again, if you're going to do it, it feels like now's the time with that $5 million guarantee left in his contract. It seems like you're at a fork in the road, and you get to pick which direction you get to go. But this seems the one that's the path of least resistance, because if you say, "Nah, we're keeping Quinnen," you signed him to a mega deal, and we're 7 months down the road. He's like, "Wait, we still suck. I want out of here." And then that causes all kinds of cap hell. The Giants did that with Odell Beckham Jr. They signed him to a long-term deal and said, "Nah, he's our guy. Just kidding, we're trading him." And they fucked their own cap. So they just got to make sure they're very decisive, have some conviction with whichever direction they decide to go.
Jets made their bed when they gave Sherwood 3 for $45. So I think Quincy for a 4 makes complete sense. Again, San Francisco has 4 number 4s. I would take one of those 4s and move on. Breece is the interesting one because I would trade him for a 4, but if Kansas City, again, they're playing without Pacheco today, if they are in dire need for a running back and they offer us a 3, I would make that deal tomorrow. And JJ is a guy I'd be hesitant to trade. Do I think he's a 1A defensive edge? I don't. I think he's a complementary guy. I wish there was a 1A so he could be a perfect 1B, but he
100%.
wants to be here. I don't know how much it's going to cost to keep him. I think he'd look at the Karlaftis contract at 4 for 93 as the comp. I don't know if he'll get that much based on his injury history, but that would be the guy he would look at. I mean, they came from the same class, but people don't realize that Karlaftis is about 2.5 years younger. Okay.
Right. And he had like a water polo background from another country.
Loved him at
very
Purdue.
Interesting guy. Yeah.
2 other comments. As far as the trade deadline as a whole, I disagree with Matt. I think the Dolphins pass rushers are head and shoulders above what the Jets can offer, because I think.
And he didn't mention Jalen Phillips either. He's another name that Matt didn't mention that I've heard available.
I think they're willing to trade anybody in Miami. They would trade Waddle. They would trade Phillips. They would trade Chubb. I don't know if they would trade Achane, but they would trade the other guys. That might be the worst job because the guy who's coming in is going to have to deal with Tua
for at
and
least a year. Yeah, he's
yeah,
fucked. Yeah,
I mean,
contractually. Yeah.
I mean, he has a $99 million dead cap hit. I don't think they're going to
Jesus
get rid of
Christ.
him right away.
Probably not.
And finally, with Indy, we discussed this in the chat. Okay, I don't know
Oh,
what
is
he
this
said about me. I was out, so I have no idea.
Oh,
what
so
he
this
said
is not about Pat Benatar?
No,
Okay.
I don't know what he
Oh,
said on his call. I saw he
okay.
called,
Okay.
and I didn't.
Oh,
I was
yes,
out.
yeah. It said something about Alon. Yeah, he disagreed with you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Jeremiah Smith is 19 years old. Okay.
Phew, unbelievable.
Jeremiah Smith could walk into the NFL tomorrow and cook the Bengal defenders right now. Okay. So when he said, oh, he could, Jeremiah Smith right now, if the draft was tomorrow, he would be a top 3 pick.
Ooh, you don't even think he'd be number 1 overall?
I don't know, because I think there'll be a team out there that would rather pick the quarterback than pick a wide receiver. I think Jeremiah Smith would be worthy of the number 1 pick in the draft. He is a special talent. Okay.
Yeah.
Special talent. So to tell me that Jeremiah Smith could not walk into the NFL tomorrow and cook 85% of the secondary players right now, you're nuts. He's a phenomenal talent. Phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. Big game.
Well, actually, before you go, wait a second here. There's a special caller that would like to speak with you. I'll give you a chance to guess. Who do you think that is?
I think it's Indy.
It's not.
It's not.
Jimmy!
Jimmy! How are you doing, Jimmy? Oh, my God. Long time no see. What's going on, Jimmy?
How are you?
There is one guy. I remember when we were on the air, what was it, like 26 years ago, something like that? 20? It was like in late 90s.
Yes.
And I always told Jimmy that he would be a success based on his demeanor and based on his voice. So there isn't one guy that I wish more success for than you, Jimmy. So I am so happy for your success. I really am. And
thank you so much. And I do remember you saying that. I do remember you saying you're going to be successful. There's something you got. I remember you telling me that. So that's pretty cool.
I love Jimmy, and having to deal with Paul for all those years. I do feel bad for you, Jimmy. I really do.
All right, let's talk some shop here for a minute before I go. All right,
go for it.
All right, so I'm a Giants fan, but that doesn't mean that I don't pay attention to what's going on with the other New York teams. So, all right, the Jets. Here's the problem with dismantling this thing. Okay, it's funny if we just go back 2 years ago, I'm like talking to Boy Green in our radio studio, and I'm like, man, the freaking Jets are getting good, man. Wow, this roster they're putting together really starting to look like something. That defense looks incredibly formidable. It's just mind-blowing to me how in less than 2 years, it's just like throw everything out with the bathwater. This is a complete disaster. We need a complete rebuild. I don't know. Again, my mantra over the years has always been continuity wins. And I know continuity and paying guys are two things that you have to weigh in the NFL these days. I mean, you love those guys on those rookie deals. If you can make them great players in their first 3 or 4 years, then it makes it worth it to pay them. If they give you 3 to 4 years of mediocrity, then you're like, let me get out of here. But then sometimes you get out of there and you kind of live in the temple of regret and someone else pays them. I don't know. Quinnen Williams is a tricky guy, and I saw you put up the poll, actually voted on that poll, and my vote was no, do not jettison him off. The only way I jettison him off, if there's a number 1 pick, a first-round pick involved in the deal, is it's got to be a top 15 first-rounder, not just any first-rounder. You pick in the bottom half of the first round, it's not, sometimes not a great pick. I offer you Kadarius Toney. I offer you, I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm just plucking into my team. I'm sure if I went into the other 29 teams, I could give you other bad guy. So I think a guy like that, and I know Quinnen's probably frustrated. I hear other fans talking about that. I don't disagree. When you are a perennial loser, it is hard to get up every morning, to be as motivated as those guys that are out there competing for playoff spots and championships inevitably. But only one team wins a championship every year. These guys are getting paid big money. Like, he's got to be a pro and step up and do his job. And I think if the Jets did a little bit of winning, I think we'd see him playing much better ball. So I'm really against the Jets dismantling this thing.
I'll disagree on some points.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of giving running backs second contracts unless they are elite. And I don't see Breece Hall as being an elite player. I think he's a very good player. And if you look at the Jets going forward without a true quarterback, I don't think the Jets are going to be competitive for at least 2-3 more years. So you're going to pay Breece Hall, let's say $12 million for 3-4 years.
Sure.
By the time the team is good, he will be at the latter stage of his second contract. I just don't think it makes sense to pay him. Quincy, they paid Sherwood. I don't think they're going to pay a second linebacker $15 million.
That one makes sense to me. Yes.
And Quinnen, I'm hoping for a 1 and a 3. I understand what you're saying with the top 15 pick.
Yeah,
by the time the Jets are going to be good, Quinnen is going to be in his 30s. And I worry that they are going to completely ruin his first 10 years to the point where he's going to get beyond frustrated. I don't think they're going to be good next year. I don't even know who their quarterback is going to be next year.
Well, that's the linchpin. That's the linchpin is if they can find a quarterback, then I think they could get good rather quickly. If they don't find a quarterback, then they're going to be like the Giants have been for the last bunch of years, just searching and searching and searching. And, you don't get good that way without a quarterback.
I like Mendoza and I like Dante Moore. I just don't think either of those guys are in the class of a May or a Daniels. I think both those guys would need to sit for at least 10 to 15 weeks. I would not start them right away. I don't think either of those guys should start. So to me, as much as this year was a throwaway year, I think next year will be a throwaway year. I don't know who the quarterback is going to be, unfortunately. And I would not be surprised if they won't be competitive for at least 2 to 3 years. And by the time that happens, Quinn will be 30. Quincy is going to be 30 next summer, so he's gone. Breece will be at the tail end of his second contract. He'll get frustrated. He will be gone. So, I like JJ, and I think JJ wants to be here. Again, he turns 27 in January. So you worry about that years as well. So as much as people hyped up the Jets a couple of years ago, what made them a prime pick is they had guys who were still on their first contracts, or they had guys who were not reaching their second contracts. Right now, they're stuck because they don't have a quarterback. And if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. And they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
And
The
I
clock
would
is-
trade all those guys.
Yeah, the clock is ticking on those guys. That's that thing of I got to pay them at some point, and then if you start paying them and you still don't have your quarterback, then you find yourself kind of in big trouble. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle in the NFL. One other thing on that draft class, I mean, what's amazing to me is if you go back just 6 months ago, everybody was talking about this being a good quarterback class with Arch Manning at the top of it, and now all of a sudden through a season, most of the season of college football, everyone's like, oh, this quarterback class stinks. I'll say this. These scouts don't know diddly, all right, when it comes to quarterbacks. Every year, it seems that there's a diamond in the rough, there's a guy, there's somebody that's going to become a franchise. I mean, just look at history, go back. I mean, there are very few drafts where there's none, okay? There always seems to be at least one, sometimes two or even three in a class. So I wouldn't give up on the idea that this year's class, this just might be one of those classes where you might not have to have the number 1 or number 2 pick to get the quarterback of your dreams. Look at where the Giants stand today. They waited on that dart pick, and they may have their guy. It's a little too early to say that, but they may have their guy, and they got him towards the bottom end of the first round. It's not an impossible task. Scouts get it wrong all the time.
Jimmy, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. I'm so happy with your success, even though you have to deal with Paul on a daily basis. I am so happy for you, Jimmy, and thank you so much, Paul, for connecting us. There is one person that I always wanted success for, and it was always Jimmy. He was always one of the nicest people in the world. Having to deal with me, I mean, that's a real task. So I really
and I'll tell you what,
appreciate
you haven't changed a bit.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alon. And Lurch, a couple of things here real quick. So I see Easy sent in a super chat, so appreciate you, Easy. Thank you for sending these in.
Wow.
We might be splitting up the Williams brothers, sending them to different parts of the United States of America. AZ says we could send Quincy Williams to San Francisco, Quinnen to Dallas. I've heard some of those rumors, EZ. So we'll see what happens. And also, Lurch, we had this earlier from MFC. Who's that dude, Pat Benatar, we keep talking about? Are you a Pat Benatar fan? That's sort of come up here during the show.
I assume he's kidding around. It's not a dude, it's a dudette. And yes, I'm absolutely incredibly familiar with Pat Benatar because our old band, Northern Lights, aka my pal Nicky Lamangino, who is now the voice of our theme song on the Manchild Show at Boy Green Digital. We were in a band, Northern Lights. We had a female front singer. She was my girlfriend at the time, Ronnie Perez. And we must have done easily 6 or 7 Pat Benatar songs. And probably over the history of my career in music, which spanned about 15-ish years, I probably learned somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 or 16 Pat Benatar songs. So yes, I'm very familiar with Pat Benatar. She's still, believe it or not, out there touring. She's got to be in her 70s or 70-ish. She has to be.
I see.
So she's up there. She's got
72.
There you go. See, but she was a powerhouse female rocker. A little before kind of Joan Jett came along, and she just had one album that just was a mega hit album, and then parlayed that into a few other albums that had multiple hits on them. So yeah, she's she's definitely an 80s darling, and anybody that grew up in that era knows exactly who she is.
All right, Lurch, we have to plug it. I mean, it's awesome. It's our new YouTube channel that we've been doing for the last couple of months here, the radio show. And again, there are people fighting for you in this town to be inducted into the Greater Syracuse Sports Hall of Fame for your contributions, including your radio show that was on air for 25 years. It is the longest running Syracuse sports talk radio show in this city's history. And now it's fully digital. So youtube.com/MC Show digital. It's right there on your screen. Lurch, give people a taste. Everyone knows Boy Green Daily. I yell about the Jets all the time. What the hell is the Manchild Show at Boy Green Digital? What is it all about? What's the identity? What's the brand? If someone tunes in, what are they getting?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still evolving in a lot of ways because, from what we did in radio, Paul, going back to the days we worked together for about 8 years and then Bud Poliquin for another 16 years. I mean, the fact of the matter is that we're a local show. So we covered Syracuse football and basketball and anything going on in the greater Syracuse community, the AAA team here in Syracuse, now known as the Syracuse Mets. But we always, I think probably because of my New York roots, probably because of your Jets connections and your feelings about football, we always covered, the Jets and the Giants. And it's just natural. I mean, Central New York is, probably mostly Bills fans, maybe slightly skewed Bills over Giants fans. So the Bills migrated into our world as ever. And we started covering the Bills, going to Bills camps, doing fun stuff of that nature. So the show, I would say, it's kind of a regional based show. We do it out of, Central New York, but we could be doing it out of anywhere now in this digital format. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to think, I always thought our show was going all the way back to the days when I worked with Bud, kind of, for lack of a better way of putting it, Seinfeld-esque, it's a show about nothing, but it has sports themes. And so, yes, of course, we talk to real people and break down real sporting events and talk about, those particular teams that I just mentioned. But it's also kind of our lives, our personalities, the way we think about things inside sports and beyond sports. I'm still considering the possibility of doing something that I would probably call something along the lines of Manchild's Musings, which might be a special kind of feature that I might create for our VIP club when we get to that point with our YouTube subscribers. Because one of the things I always did with the show, as you know, Paul, is every day when I cracked that mic, I kind of, some days I might have started with a sports topic, but most days I just talked about, aren't you annoyed with traffic? I got stuck in traffic this morning. And then the next thing you know, I just do 10 minutes on how annoying traffic can be and how I moved out of New York City because I couldn't stand the traffic,
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of that slice of life stuff in there. So if you like to laugh, if you like to kind of know a little bit more about slice of life, then it's a great show for you to listen to.
So again, guys, that's right there on your screen. Subscribe to that YouTube channel, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. We have 500 people watching the show right now, so you can jump over if you're on your phone or your computer, or your tablet, open up a new tab and subscribe right now. For all those reasons Manchild just described, but hey, we're also doing free giveaways. Lurch, is it within reach?
Yes, I always keep it within reach of me, right? It's this beautiful free golf club, all right? It's a Cleveland XL high bore driver. It's brand new. You can see it. It's still in the cover, still wrapped in plastic. Go get that as well. All you have to do is be one of our first 500 subscribers. We're less than 150 away, so we're moving quickly. Love to get there before Christmas so that you can give it as a Christmas gift. If you're not a golfer yourself, give it to your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your brother, your sister, whoever you want. Absolutely free. All you have to do is subscribe. Very easy.
Yeah, so if you're local, we'll hand it to you in person. If you live some distance
We'll
away,
ship
we
it.
will ship it to
And
you.
we'll pay for it.
100%. A $400 golf club that you guys can get your hands on for just subscribe to the channel and having a chance for it, and we'll randomly pick that winner. So as soon as it happens, if it happens today, we'll draw it today. If it happens over the next couple of days, we'll do it then or by Christmas, whenever it happens. But again, as Lurch said, we're under 150 subscribers away. So people, stop what you're doing right now. YouTube.com/MC Show Digital. You have a chance to win free stuff. And that's not the only free giveaway we're doing. We're doing many more as we continue climbing each milestone marker. So me and Manchild, it's quite a show, and I hope you guys tune in. We got a lot of fun guests, including Jake Asman for all you Jet fans out there. Jake Asman every week joins us on that YouTube channel exclusively, which is always a lot of fun to talk Jets.
Usually I'm not, I watch a show some mornings, most mornings, I at least get a piece of it or something. But that extra hour of sleep this morning really kind of got me into the show. So I quite enjoyed it. This is the first time I've ever invaded your show. So sorry for invading.
Oh, come on in. Yeah.
But I saw Alon in there and I was like, I gotta, Alon, I gotta see Alon in the flesh here. It's been a long time since the two of us have seen each other. It goes all the way back to my days at Nassau Community College.
Yeah, so Lurch, can you do this? Because I think this is important to do. It's okay. So for us, Alon, right? He's a guy that's just crazy Jets guy, and he has these takes. And a lot of people view him as this pessimistic, very negative guy, and sort of rains on everyone's parade. But they don't really know about the person. I think the only person that knows about him, and he called it earlier, Frankie. He lives down in Texas. Alon lives down in Texas, so they went for the first time and met each other because of the show and went to watch a Jets game together, and it ended up being the first win of the season. So now we say they got to continue to watch Jet games together to do it. So Frankie is really the only one that knows Alon outside of you and the story you're about to tell, knows Alon beyond just the guy who calls in the box screen and gives his Jets takes. So give us the origin story on what you know about Alon, because I think Jet fans are going to be fascinated by it. What can you tell us about this Alon figure?
Well, the way I met Alon was his cousin Phil, and Phil was a great guy. And Phil and another kid named Brian did a sports talk show on the student station at Nassau Community College, a show that I went to the program director. He had no sports content. This was a classic oldie station, played like, James Bond's Goldfinger would have been like one of the most updated songs on this. I mean, it was like Paul Anka, Sinatra, super classic oldies. And I DJ'd on the station. And after I DJ'd for a couple of weeks, I went to the programmer, a guy by the name of Jim Green. And I said, hey, Jim, would you on the weekends maybe be willing to do a sports talk show if I put it together? And he was like, well, put a proposal together, put it in writing, and I'll think about it. So I did. I put this whole written proposal together. And Phil and Brian were both working with me at the student newspaper known as the Vignette, which was the student newspaper at Nassau Community College. Well, about a year into that, we did get the show, by the way, and it was on Saturday mornings, I think at 10 o'clock. It was a 1-hour show, and all three of us hosted it. It was a three-headed monster. And so Phil was one of the hosts, and Phil one day brought in his cousin, Alon. And Alon showed up at the studio, I think. I remember seeing him at the student newspaper. I don't remember the very, very first time I met him, but definitely Alon hasn't changed in this sense. Alon was always negative Nelly, and I was always the guy just trying to Alon, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Don't worry, plus, to be honest with you, in this business, this sports talk business, I mean, it's good to have people on the other side of the argument, as you know. It's good to be challenged to say, they really stink. Well, let me tell you some reasons why they don't stink, It's good to fight that battle sometimes because it makes you dig in a little bit more and really try to justify what you're saying. So I think Alon was always a good sounding board. But I think he just enjoyed the show. He was a good guy. Negativity or not, Alon's a good dude, a very, very loyal guy. He's the kind of guy you'd love to have as your friend, but you just kind of know what you're getting, But I love guys that wear it on their sleeve and, there's no pretentiousness. And he's definitely not pretentious. He's a good dude. And I do remember him. He's just not throwing the rose petals at my feet. I do remember him saying to me, you're going places, you're gonna do this professionally. And you know what? Sometimes when you're that young and you don't know where you're going, I was at community college, for crying out loud. Sure, I was dreaming of being a sportscaster, but I didn't know that I was going to make it. And he was like, "You're going to do it, man. You're going to make it. You got all the tools." That was nice to hear. That was when you get that kind of encouragement along the way when you're young. Remember, negative Alon giving me encouragement. How about that? All right.
Yeah.
So I think Alon's one of those people when he sees a duck, he says it's a duck. And I think that's what he did back then. He saw some talent in me and said, "I think you're going places." And it's nice that I could come through for him and say, "Alon, you were right about something."
Yeah.
And that something was me.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go.
Cool.
Like I said, the comment section's lighting up because they have not heard these Alon stories of someone that's sort of known him in person. So that's super cool to hear some of these. And again, guys, go ahead, Lurch.
No, it's super weird and freakish that I didn't know anything. I haven't talked to Alon or had any contact with him really. His cousin unfortunately passed very young, Phil, the guy who co-hosted the show. And I may have touched base with him at that point. I just heard about it. Maybe it might have been a nice little, I'm so sorry to hear about your cousin. I think I crossed paths him briefly there. It might have even been through my buddy Brian, who I still have his contact information. I didn't have any contact stuff for Alon.
Yeah.
But it's so weird because you and I, of course, were doing the radio show, and then somehow his name came up. He commented on something on the radio show or something. I was like, I know his last name, Avital. I was like, oh my God, there's nobody named that. Alon is a very unusual name, and then you throw in the last name. There was no chance that it was anybody else, and so that began the reconnection. So, and I always knew he was a diehard Jet fan because he always wanted me to talk about the Jets. So, that's a really, really cool. So he's a good dude. He really is a good dude. As negative as he is, he's a good dude.
Yeah, and there you have it. We have one more, Lurch. We have a request. There's a lot of people that are calling in on the show. There's someone that would like to speak with you. Would you Would you like to approve this interaction?
Yeah. Of course, I'm into anybody here.
All right. Well, here you go. Badshaw is here in the darkness. Badshaw, go ahead.
I don't know. I thought we were going to lose an hour, and I get on this morning, and Jim's on, and the Jets aren't playing, and I'm like, are we a Giants channel? And then he's talking about Allen, and I'm like, what the heck happened last night? I'm like, did Lurch take over the show, or what's going on?
Lots going on over here. Badshaw.
Golly, yeah. I was just like, woke up, and I was like, usually I don't get to catch the show on Sunday, and I was like, oh, they're still going. And I'm like, pull it up, and Lurch is up here, like, just taking over the show, showing his golf clubs and everything.
Yeah, very nice. It's showing off. It's very nice. Hey, I'm
not going to be my golf club much longer, I don't think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So shout out to the people. Again, we have 500 people in the room right now. We're at, I think it's 351 subscribers. So we're this close. And quite frankly, think about this. If we have 500 people on the show and we have 351 subscribers, technically we could do that right now. We could get over that number. So people, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's on your screen, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. There's a lot of fun gizmos and gadgets, and it's a fun conversation being on the show. But also, again, we're giving away that $400 golf club for free. All you have to do is subscribe. It is free to subscribe to the channel right there on your screen. And me and Manchild have been working together for like a decade. So that would be absolutely awesome if you guys could support my venture here and our venture here together and help us get there, because we're going to be opening up the phone lines on the show when we get to 500 subscribers. We're going to have membership levels. Man, we have a lot of exciting stuff planned for that show, which is going to be pretty awesome.
Jim, are you cool with us taking callers after 500?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Kidding me? When we did a radio show, we would probably get 10 calls a day. Yeah, we love,
right.
I've always loved interacting with people. So yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell everybody, I try to watch. I watch every day that y'all are on. I watch, y'all do the fantasy on Friday. Then y'all do the picks.
Hey, Badshaw, let me jump on the fantasy thing for a second before you finish your thought there. So one of the things that got me up early this morning, was I made a monster trade in fantasy
did.
after we finished our bit with Bartle on Friday. So that's not out there publicly yet. But I was last week, and Bartle kind of dropped a hint in the Friday segment, if you go back and watch it, about we were both Bartle and I were talking to another league member about Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of my favorite receivers. I love the Detroit Lions. And I have great running backs on my team, but I'm lacking an A receiver, a number one receiver. And so I've been kind of hunting and pecking with my depth of my team, trying to see if I can, bag the elephant, as Charlie Sheen said in the movie Wall Street when he got Gordon Gekko. So I went and talked to one of the players who has Amon-Ra, and Joe was talking. It's a girl. We were talking to her at the same time. We were literally negotiating during the Thursday night football game. I was like, oh boy, I've got competition, right? So I couldn't consummate the deal. There were certain players she didn't really want, and then I couldn't give her other players. I was already giving her potentially 3 starters for 1 starter. I was like, this is as far as I'm willing to go. So I bagged it, and then the next morning, I was like, damn, I was so close, now Bartle's hunting this person down. What am I going to do? Well, I went to someone else in the league who has another type A receiver that I was chasing earlier in the year. And he had basically said to me, I'm not interested. But now he's down in the standings a little bit, could probably use some help. So I figured, let me try the same tactic. I'll give him some depth for 1 player. And I ended up bagging Jackson Smith and Jigba. And so that trade went through this morning, and he is in my lineup today. So that got me up a little bit early today to say, all right, let's make some lineup changes and get JSN going, baby. I am pumped.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
y'all definitely keep those leagues, intense. You need to maybe next year, which hopefully I'll be moving up. Hopefully I'll be moving up out of the Quad Cities, I think is the one I'm in.
Yeah.
And so hopefully I'll be moving up this year, and we'll be making some trades. Nobody's offered me any trades this year.
All right, I'll work on that, Betcha. I'll do that.
I know. I don't know if I want your trades, because I kind of heard
stay away from Badshaw. Stay away from him.
Hey, by the way, Batch,
I think I'm probably going to join the Quad Cities next year. I joined the Triple C this year. Boy Green's been pushing me. I just can't stand managing too many teams. It just gets too crazy for me. But he's used to managing multiple. But
and he hates that I'm the reigning champion in the Quad Cities.
If you get up to Triple C, guaranteed, I will offer you a trade, because I've offered at least 1 trade to almost everybody in that league since it started. I haven't consummated a deal in that league yet, but I have offered trades, and I have been in discussions with a few people. So.
But real quick, Batshaw, we have a very pressing question. Another super chat coming in from Mother Effing Chew here.
Wow.
Why is Batshaw hiding in a dark bathroom?
Yeah, so I know Lurch usually doesn't watch these shows in the morning, but a lot of times on the weekends I have to call in the bathroom because
wow. You want to wake up the fan. Don't want to wake up the fan.
Oh, yeah, in there. Right. That makes sense.
It's all right. You're fine. You're fine.
My voice isn't like carrying through the whole house.
Listen,
right now.
It's very Blair Witch Project. It really is. It's and we are on Halloween weekend. I mean, so why not a little Blair Witch Project?
Yeah, there you go. I like it. The camera angles. That was one of the. I got to tell you guys, I'm pretty sure back in the day we bought that on pay-per-view when that came out. And then we were all like, oh boy, here we go, Blair Witch Project. And then it ended, or they'd like find that random sign on the ground. Oh, wait, scary witch here or something. Yeah. And then I was like, wow, that was the worst thing I've ever had to pay for in my life. Yeah.
Well, back in the day, especially like when that movie came out, like you could just basically lie and be like, this is true footage. And everybody's like, holy shit. Like,
that's right, 100%.
And then, I don't know, Paul, because I know me and you are the same age. If you remember what Paranormal Activity.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
And they were like, this is real footage from and then they're like Paranormal Activity 2. And I'm like, dang, they found more footage. I know.
Like, but it used to get me too. Wait, another super chat's coming in from Mother Effing Chew.
Wow.
Batchos, Jared holding you hostage. Blink twice if you need help. Oh, there it is. All right. Well, more raffle tickets for MFC coming in here. That's but get the safety, Batchos. Get the safety.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I need to. I was going to tell you the other day, Paul. Side note, but we had the draft guy on a few days ago.
Oh yes, Drew Beatty.
Uh,
Yes,
Drew
great
Beatty.
draft guy. Yeah.
So you were saying like where to find him, like on the website, and it was like Paul Kaharski or whatever.
Correct. Yeah, that's a Tennessee Titans guy, big Tennessee Titans guy down there. Yeah, paulkaharski.com.
Well, so I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Paul Kaharski?
Yes. And
wow,
so I don't
he's
know.
a bigwig down there.
So I don't know. So I think he might know my uncle. I've told you I got that Keith Bullock signed ball.
Which Lurch should know. Yeah, Keith Bullock and Syracuse.
Keith Bullock
Covered him. Yeah.
Covered him, interviewed him from New City, New York, the hometown of one Adam Shine. They actually played football together, Adam Shine and Keith Bullock. Adam Shine is a broadcaster, in case you don't know who he is.
Oh,
yeah.
They played on the same football team, so that's a real tight connection. I found that out when I was at WAER Radio at Syracuse. So yeah, Keith Bullock, good dude, very good dude, Keith Bullock.
Well, so my uncle, they had a big salon in Nashville, and one of the types. So you'll kind of like this, and I don't know if you remember this game. It was either the year the Giants won the Super Bowl, beat the undefeated New England Patriots.
Yeah. I'll never forget that year.
Well, so I don't know if it was the year before or that year. My mom was like, "What's a good game to go to? I can't take you to the Jets game this year," and I said, I think the Giants are going to be pretty good this year. And they were coming to Tennessee, which I live in Arkansas. It's about a 3.5 hour drive for us. So mom's a big Titans fan. So she's like, okay, I'll get you tickets to that game. Well, my uncle is cutting this woman's hair, and he's telling her, oh yeah, my nephew's coming down for this game and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, my husband plays for the Titans. And he's like, what? And it was this guy named, I believe his name was Josh Savage. He was like a backup. He was like a third string defensive lineman. And she was like, does he have a signed game ball? Like, has he ever gotten a signed ball from any players? And my uncle's like, no, like that'd be awesome. And she's like, well, what's his favorite player? So my uncle texts my mom and is like, who's Brandon's favorite Titans player? And so I'm like, Keith Bullock. Keith Bullock's my favorite player. So Keith Bullock ended up signing it, and then they just let the whole team sign. So like Vince Young, all these other people signed it. Well, and like I said, I don't remember if it was the year before or that year, but they played the Giants, and the Giants were up 21-3 at halftime. And Vince Young rallied them back and beat them 24-21. Like,
wow,
it was this crazy game. And then I went back to school the next day, and everybody was talking about it. And I was like, I was there. And they're like, you're a Titans fan? And I'm like, no, I'm a Jets fan. And they're like, well, where the heck were you at a Giants game? And so it was this big confusing thing. But anyway, so
that's awesome.
It's
I love
pretty
that story.
crazy. But I've got to figure out how I know that guy, because
please do. Get back to me.
Because you said that, and I was like, am I friends with the same guy? And sure enough, it was like he's a reporter for the Titans. So
correct. Yeah, that's exactly who he is. So good for I'm happy for Drew. He worked for a website that's not as prominent, and now Paul Kaharski's a big deal in Tennessee for people who don't know. So that's a major upgrade for Drew. He's getting into a bigger spotlight, and even so, I thought, oh man, now he's worked for Paul Kaharski. He's not going to come on my little show. And he said, oh, absolutely. And he says, we're doing it every week when you're ready for it. So we'll wait till the Jets are eliminated from the playoffs and or the offseason, and so that's going to be awesome. So I can't wait for Drew. That's going to be good.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll get off here, but hey, we may not be. You never know. We might
or maybe the other way. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Thanks, Bradshaw. Appreciate you, pal. Thanks for calling in. Well, that'll wrap things up here. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm bailing.
Okay, there you go. But Manchild, one more plug. So again, MC Show Digital. We have 500 plus people in the room. That's our radio show that we now do in digital form, including Jets interviews with Jake Asman. And again, that giveaway for that golf club. Once we reach 500 subscribers, which again, we're about 140 plus and change away from that. And that can happen as quickly as the fans subscribe, which is free to do.
Yep. So get on board, folks. We'd love to see you there as well. We're going to, like I said, there's a lot of cool, neat, new things coming once we cross that 500 threshold as well. So it will make it just that much more fun to what we've been providing already. And fantasy, you get fantasy on our show. You get insiders on the Jets, Giants, and Bills every single week. We'll probably do some fun Knicks coverage when we get into the heart of basketball season as well. So we'll mix it up a little bit, but mostly football.
Okay, there you go. Mitchell, good luck to your Giants today against those dirty 49er bastards, and we'll see what happens, and we'll see you throughout the week.
All right, BG. See you.
There he is, Manchild, joining us here on the show again. It is at that link on your screen, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. And I'll show you guys a quick screen grab of what it looks like here, so you can see. You can see me on the screen as well here when you go over to that YouTube channel. Let me throw this up here on the big board. I'm a monkey operating a spotlight over here, for God's sakes. Let me pull this up here. Here it is. All right, boom. There you go. The Manchild Show of Boy Green Digital. That's me and my little Jets cartoon emoji with Manchild, and there you have it. We have all kinds of fun interviews here on the channel, so I hope you guys can check it out. And again, support my work and support my digital radio partner over there. We're trying to blow that up too. So nothing's happening here. I'm not going away. Boy Green Daily is going to keep remaining a thing in all my other Jet shows I do here, but it'll be an addition where I'll get to work from home even more often to do more shows for you guys in the NFL, Jets, and so much more. So guys, feel free to check it out, and thanks for indulging me there. They're awesome. They're hearing some Milan stories. Wow. Didn't have that on the bingo card. All right, let's keep the phone lines going. Here up next is Mr. Famous Fulton.
Well, good morning, Paul. How are you?
Oh, man, you got some sweet shades again, Mr. Famous Fulton.
Yes,
what's
I
on your
do.
mind?
Well, I got my rehearsal today. We're doing the first scene, the first act today. So we're doing that today. About
All
the
right,
script.
good luck. Yeah, of course.
Yep. And IU football team just won last night.
Oh, congratulations, Fernando Mendoza, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was staying up late to watch the Dodgers to win.
Oh, yeah, that was a good World Series. Good series. Yeah.
It was late last night. It was like 12 o'clock last night when I went to bed.
Yeah, super late, man. Super late.
Yep.
And good luck to your Colts today. Go kick some Steelers patootie.
Yeah. Hopefully I can watch it, but I got my rehearsal today.
Your rehearsals, of course.
Yes, I know. It's just been a busy week.
Well, that's all right, Mr. Famous Fulton. Well, good luck and kick some
I
butt.
might need to be on your show for an interview, so that'll be a good idea.
That'd be awesome. Hey, anytime, brother. Anytime.
Yep. But I do have a message from ESPN.
All right.
So the Colts are ready to make a deal again. So it's going to be a cornerback market, a trade deadline. What do you think about that, Paul?
Okay, but the Colts make a move. Hey, I mean, they're in the opposite position of the Jets. The Jets are 1-7. The Colts are 7-1. They're trying to make pieces, chips. I think they're the best team in the AFC, and they can make a chase to the Super Bowl, baby, with a certain quarterback, Daniel Jones. Is there any one of our listeners that was a Daniel Jones fan? I can't remember, but we'll have to see. But yes, go aggressive, Mr. Famous Fulton. Go after it.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
There you go, Mr. Famous Fulton. Appreciate you, pal, and thank you so much for the call. We've got a super chat coming in from Lou B, Super Jets fan. Could A.J. Brown be an option for us? Super chat.
Wow.
I'm going to have to respectfully decline. For these reasons, I'm out. A.J. Brown is a drama queen, and he caused Elijah Moore and got in his head to go all crazy on us. So, no. If he gets traded, go somewhere else, pal. As much as I want a really talented wide receiver next to Garrett Wilson, I do, A.J. Brown, with all due respect, and I can now say anything I want because I just said that, is a basket case. Hell no. He's talented. I'm not going to lie. He's awesome. Won a Super Bowl last year. Really good. But no thank you. No thank you. From the bottom of me heart, fuck no. Okay? Absolutely not. Definitely not. He's talented, Lou B, so I'm not trying to shame you for the question, but I'll allow someone else to dive in those waters personally. That's just a little too aggressive for me to go in that direction. But I appreciate the question. Let's go to our Daniel Jones super fan, Philly Noodles, baby.
Bro, Lou B is the man. But Lou B, that is the craziest take I've heard this week.
Yeah, no, thank you.
We can't do that, buddy. Listen, first off, the money aspect, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Because then Wilson becomes the number 2. Oh, wait. Brown thinks he's the number 1, but he can't be the number 2. There's your error already.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
Causes a whole shit show. 100%. 100%.
Funny that is, I think we could move Fields to the Eagles in the offseason if we wanted to move the hell off of him, because he
Okay.
would mimic Jalen Hurts. You
That
would
makes
only
sense.
ask him to do what Jalen Hurts is doing.
What do you
That's the
want
perfect
for him?
person for him. Fourth, fifth, right? I mean, you're not going to get much.
Probably
But
not, I would imagine. But.
we would have to eat money the same way they ate his money, or well, MC2 decided to eat that money himself.
Yes,
Right?
he ate a little bit of himself, and then Rich Cimini 1 second had this. We probably won't have this for a full show, so we can just use the nugget in Rich Cimini's piece this morning. He has the official numbers. They're right here. Michael Carter's trade to the Eagles saved the Jets $20.5 million in cash and cleared $16 million in cap space over the next 2 years per spot track. So
that's $8 million a year. That's Breece Hall money.
Correct. Oh, yeah. The Jets got decent money for moving off him. And again, it was a mistake. They signed him. They thought he was going to be this. He wasn't this. And then they were able to escape out of it, get some better draft position, and save some moolah. I mean, that was a nice little trade there for the Jets for saving that cash. So, right, for Justin, he's owed $10 million guaranteed next year. Where they have to eat some of that for a potential deal?
Yeah.
Probably, but it's nothing like that MC2 money.
Exactly. Yeah, I would look to move him like that to a team like that because, I mean, he's not going to go to the Vikings because they had an opportunity to acquire him, to fix him, and they didn't want to fix him.
Yeah.
So he's either Jets trash, or, not to be like that, but he's just sitting behind at some point during the season, or you move on from him, and I think the Eagles would be a great spot, only because they haven't figured it out with a backup yet. They're still searching through the orders for backups. But, yeah, so real quick, touching a few things. Manchild, it was funny he brought up the Jackson and Jigba thing. I was going to tell him, it looks like Cooper Kupp's not ready to go. So
I heard a practice injury this week. Yeah.
Whoever's got in Jigba, to the moon right now, probably. That Manchild, the Quad Cities kind of giving me a problem. I was like top dog, and now I'm like number 4 or 5. But the boy Green Digital,
yep,
that's I think I'm 7-1, something reflecting Daniel Jones' record or something like that.
Yeah, that looks pretty good over there, huh?
Yeah. Listen, Daniel Jones, I know I said Chef will always try to, he'll correct me, not try to, he will. He'll go, you wanted him as a backup. I said, imagine if he stepped in.
Which he would have, right? Because at minimum week 3, but even before that, if I think the cries would have been louder because like Tyrod is whatever, he was already here, right? Yeah. Aaron Glenn moved into a house and he opened up the fridge. He's like, there's some Tyrod Taylor leftovers in here. All right, I guess I'll keep him. Like he didn't sign him, he didn't do anything. Like Daniel Jones, if he signed the same deal he signed in Indy, like a 1-year deal, basically $15 million fully guaranteed, basically, like the cries for Jet fans would have been super loud. Like, oh my God, we need to go to this guy ASAP. And if he would have produced like that, then
and then Mr. Foltz bringing up what he read was basically them thinking they can move Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. There's some of those reports out there.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. And plus he's on IR. He like hurt his eye and like
his
pregame warm up or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
he's falling apart.
No thanks.
I think they would probably have to make a defensive trade. They would be interesting to see if the Jets can move a defensive piece to them, but
for sure.
I mean, I was doing some research in the running back market for what it really looks like. I think you'd have to give Breece Hall a 3-year deal with a guaranteed probably 17 to 18 million dollars probably does it at 25. So 25 mil. 18 guaranteed for 3 years. And the reason why I say that is because it would put him into the top 10 category of running back for market value. He lands
I see what you're saying. APY. Yeah. Okay.
He then hits there. If you don't do that, I don't think he wants anything less, because now you're saying not only do we value you less, we also had trade rumors on you. We didn't dispel them, the whole 9. So he can just walk. And if you tag him, God knows how much that's going to cost. It's going to be
$14.14 million is the projected number.
13. Okay, so there you go.
That's 14. Yeah.
So you would have to tag him and then sign him, giving him like that guaranteed on purpose, making him 7 a year, and taking him 2 or 3 year like in a 2-year extension. You know what I mean? They could evidently do that if they really wanted to, but there's no point to do that. I mean, I think it is what it is. I mean, if you're going to swallow your pride, and Glenn seems like he's going to, telling Muji what, right? Like, you got to give me the best of the best for picks if you're going to move any of these guys.
Right.
What do you think, dude?
Which I don't, I don't mind the Jets, and again, it seems like the insiders must have went to the same source because this morning 3 different insiders said the same thing. Pelissero, Rappaport, and who else am I missing? Mitch. And they all said that basically, unless it's an offer they can't refuse, the Jets aren't taking it. And for everyone to use the same language, like the Jets must be, putting out like every time they're getting inquiries, they're saying the same message. So like, hey, here's the line, buddy, and we're not going to just bend the knee, right? Jets can't lose anyway. There's no no game today, excuse me. So it's not like another loss is going to force them in some direction or another. Clear hearts, clear minds heading into the NFL trade deadline. I'm fine with the Jets drawing the line in his head. Is it that Quinnen package of 1 plus this? Is it for whoever all these different guys are? I'm fine with the Jets holding the line. But again, there's that fine line of if you hold on to everybody and you refuse to bend the knee on anything, and then we lose all these guys and don't get comp picks back, that's going to be, I think, a frustrating point for some of these Jet fans.
I think for all of us, yeah. What's your evaluation on, obviously, Glenn just being stubborn and saying we're not doing that. We won't take
like on
anything
Breece. I probably don't do it. So I know there's been a lot of back and forth. So Breece is making nothing money this year, like zip and pip in terms of 2025. The rest, it's nothing.
1.7, right?
Yeah, right. Especially with money left in the year, so you're getting no cap savings from doing it, and you're getting a whatever pick. To me. Right. Apparently, Diana Rossini reports that the Jets are looking for a third. All right, a third. You still want to give up a third? And even then, I'm not sure because of what we have, but no one's going to give it up. So it's one of those points where the Jets say, hey, we're going to keep this guy. And then you play the game. And then if you want to use the franchise tag for negotiating purposes only, I don't want Breece to play on the franchise tag, but if you use it for negotiating purposes only to ensure he doesn't hit the open market and you have till July to negotiate, and worst case, then he has to play it, I wouldn't mind that from a negotiating standpoint because Breece just want to play on the franchise tag. The Jets don't want him on the franchise tag. That's eating $14 million off the books. If they sign him long term, they could spread that hit. So it would benefit or motivate rather both sides to get the right deal done. So I wouldn't be opposed to that if they can crack it out. You probably have to guarantee at least 2 of the 3 years on a 3-year extension, though, because that's how it's going to have to work. Yeah.
So 2 things real quick, and then I'll be off.
Sure.
I find it hilarious that they read the situation as McDonald as a higher value that they won't even speak compared to JJ. So to me, that for something odd as that is, that seems that. Not that the scout talent, to me, is probably saying, they're evaluating talent and longevity versus locker room presence, because there's no way JJ is not more important than Will. It's clear. It's obvious. Right. We won a game when he came back with Quincy. Like, the 2 of them together combined for a win, essentially. I know it sounds stupid to say that, but it's the truth if you look at, tape. So it's kind of like, holy crap, how do you value, because Will's younger and he's a real true hit the quarterback guy? Okay, well, he hasn't even done it enough.
Yeah,
which is
that's also true, right?
So the second thing I'll bring up real quick, I just read an article about the Lions and how people really do think somehow they're going to be able to keep all the guys they had from their draft, which is 4 dudes about to hit free agency.
Who are those 4?
Branch.
Yep.
Campbell, the linebacker.
Yeah, Jack Campbell. Yep.
And one other player, I forget the name. All 4 are vital pieces. So they're saying Lions fans are like, oh, yeah. He's
a lot of money.
GM's going to get I don't know about that, bro.
Because they already paid Sewell. They already paid Aiden Hutchinson. They paid Kirby. Like, man, you go through, some of those guys. Like, that's,
I'll take. So that's why I think we're gonna get you're gonna get a rejected player out of that who's gonna get let go, especially if they sign Campbell, who's younger, which I think they will. I've been saying it. He wasn't available, but Nick Anzalone is gonna be available.
Alex Anzalone.
Alex, excuse me.
Yeah.
They need to go get him. Like,
that's a Glenn guy. That just makes too much sense not to happen. 100% at linebacker. And hey, by the way, we got to go ahead.
No, yeah, you go.
We got a couple of super chats coming in for you. So, Badshaw.
Wow.
But yeah, sure.
Can you confirm or deny this? Badshaw sends in a $5 super chat. 3 more weeks, and Badshaw, Philly, and Indy will all be under the same roof. Is that true?
Yeah, he's gonna be pretty close to us in Nashville,
Nice.
vacation style with his wife.
Okay.
So him and wifey are gonna make it down. I'm gonna drag my wifey out of the house. She has to come see this game. And Indy is gonna bring himself in every Dennis Quaid acting role he's ever had
Oh,
will be
wow.
there as
Okay.
well. He'll just
Great.
between quarters, he's going to change into whatever, what was it, the rookie or something? He's going to be the
Okay.
baseball Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
We're going to get every version of Dennis Quaid that we need for
Is
the game.
Easy coming too?
Easy. No, the big ZD can come. He can't.
Okay, what about Woody? Woody's down there in the Carolinas.
Oh, Woody's. Come on, man.
Okay,
All
right.
bringing all that alcohol he left over. He could
That's true. That was an unbelievable amount of alcohol that he did leave over. That's for sure. And one more super chat coming in from Lou B, Super Jet fan.
Wow.
Thank you guys for the super chats. Lou B says, Philly, do you think we shall have wide receiver in draft or free agency or trade? Which of those options helps our wide receiver 2 gap?
I keep saying I wish it's in the trade, and you know what? Even if it's not Jordan Tyson, let it be one of the kids out of UCLA. They got Malachi Lemon, and then there's the bigger body guy, which we need an X, right? So if we need an X, he would be available. I think it's Tate is his last name or something, but he could be had, and there might be another one. But again, I wish they would move in the draft. Don't play this game where you have to take the number 1 quarterback because everyone in the world's telling you if you scout him and that's what it is, fine. But then that means you better make a draft trade to go get a wide receiver, or you're playing a deadly game of we don't have another guy to throw to.
And I love the cost-controlled nature of it, too, because, again, you get these other wide receivers for injury. Those are expensive. Jacoby Myers, that's expensive as hell. But you get draft, you have at least, if we're talking first-round pick, I mean, you got 4 years plus the fifth-year kicker option. You go second to seventh round, you got 4 years of standard rookie control before they got to get paid buco bucks.
Yeah, and Lou B, if we think about free agency, every wide receiver that hits the market is old at that point.
Yeah, a lot of the names look bad.
That's right. It's just crap. And I don't think we're going to go bargain bin shopping if we're getting a top quarterback out of the draft. We can't.
Yeah.
We got high commodity. But yeah, let's go, dude. Love it.
Appreciate you, Philly. Thanks, brother. I appreciate the call. Thank you so much here on the program. Again, 500 plus people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby, here on the Gosh Darn Show. Let's go to the legend. I just saw this because I came across it as a former Maniac YouTube member on the channel, that this guy was featured highly in the prominent power rankings. It's none other than Neil, baby, here on the show. What's up, Neil?
Good morning, Paul. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing swell. How are you doing, sir?
I'm in my armchair. I'm playing armchair general manager here.
Oh, great. All right, sure. Light on us.
First off, one of the most, there's a lot of guys on podcasts. I fully respect you. I think you have a great show.
Thanks, man.
Not crazy about your dad sometimes. I don't like the way he beats on every.
Oh, Neil, you'll be happy to hear this. I don't know if you heard this. The washer dryer. It's here. Now, here's the problem. I mean,
it's not from your father.
It's not. It's not from my father. It's from the store down the street. But yeah, I owe $1,200 on it, so I'm going to have to chip away at that. But yes, washer dryer in the house.
Congratulations. It's a necessity, as you know. It probably makes life a hell of a lot easier.
Oh, thank God. Very, very much easier. Yes.
Oh, that's great to hear. Anyhow,
yes,
I'm not much of a draft guy. I leave that
right.
guys like Alon, the draft expert who loves teams that perennially suck. I'm glad he doesn't wear a Jet hat. He wears that Iowa hat, I guess he wears.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah, right.
But, I like Allen. And again, a villain is necessary, and he makes a lot of good points. But, if it's up to Allen, we're going to be a perennial shitty team until I'm 85 years old. And he'll be still, when I'm 15 years from now, he'll still be talking about we need to bat 2 more years, 3 more years, and we'll finally get it right. I'm not for that, obviously, but one guy I really like that is a common sense YouTuber is BGF. All right.
Oh yes, yeah.
BGF, he lays it right. He analyzes the teams. He's also good with the draft, and he made a couple of really good points I want to share with the chat.
Yeah,
it's not my points; it's his.
Yeah,
he said that trading Breece, and getting a 4th round pick, even he doesn't think somebody's going to pay a 3rd round pick, but assuming it's a 4th round pick, he said of the top 15 elite running backs in the league, not one of them was a pick beyond the 3rd round.
Okay.
Wow.
Not even the second round. He said, Cook, Barkley, a lot of these guys that are elite running backs were picked in the first round. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to see Breece go to Kansas City and wear a yellow jacket one day, because I'll tell you right now, if he goes to Kansas City, Paul, could you imagine what he's going to do there?
Oh, he's going to put up monster numbers.
Oh my God. It's going to be Barkley-like, and we're going to really be pissed off.
Probably.
And especially if he ever plays us, forget it.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Be 3 touchdowns, 100 yards receiving, and 200 yards on the ground. Look, he is our best offensive player. I know Garrett is great, but he's our best offensive player. And the reason why is when he has a good game, he can make us win. Garrett can't win the game for us. Breece Hall could win a game. Look what he did last week. He won the game for us by having a spectacular performance. Okay, that's the difference between what a running back / receiver could do for a team that a wide receiver can't. A wide receiver could take a game over, but you need a quarterback to throw to him. Right, Paul? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we don't have that. So the reality is we're a ground and pound team. That's how we set our team up. The offensive line is built to run block. And Breece is a guy. And look, what's the big deal if we paid him $11 million a year, if he got it just in the low end of the tier? That's not like breaking the bank. Right, Paul?
No, not at all. I think that's super reasonable.
I think that's a number he might accept. And really, you could sign him right now, arguably on a down year. So Breece Hall is off the table for me, okay? I don't want a 4th rounder. I don't want a 5th rounder and see him on another team succeed. And frankly, I want to win games this year. And you're not winning games this year without Breece Hall on the field. I'm sorry, you're not.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. By the way, wait a second. Breaking news, Indy Jets just showed me his pumpkin for this year. Neil, it looks like that's you with a cigar out of the pumpkin's mouth. Wow.
I saw that. I saw Indy with that.
Wow,
I have a skeleton in my front porch that I had a cigar in, and I was talking on Jake's show with the, mimicking me with the skeleton head mouth going up and down. It was pretty hysterical.
That's awesome.
Back to this.
Yeah.
Defensively, all right. I'm going to tell you, I watched the entire game last week over again because I like to put a little smile on my face.
Yeah.
I was a little bored yesterday. And I noticed Quinnen took a lot of plays off. He jogged around a lot. He really didn't look like he was too into the game. I saw him getting blocked one-on-one against a rookie left guard. Look, he's not as and I don't think it's because of what he's capable of. I really think he's just had it. I think he mailed it in with the Jets. You know what his tweet said when Rodgers left? Here comes another rebuild.
Yeah.
I think he's frustrated with the team. And if we can get a 1 and a 3 for him, or any 1st round pick, I move on from him. And don't forget, he's one of the top. Even right now, he's like a top 5 paid defensive lineman, if I'm not mistaken, right, Paul? I mean,
he is still top 5 highest paid. Yep, correct.
And he's not a top 5 defensive player in the league right now. I'll tell you, frankly, he's just not even. Maybe he's not even. You could put him outside the year he's having. You could say he's less than top 10 with the year he's having. Okay, now you want to take his full resume. You could argue he's in the top 8, but right now he's not even playing top 10. And the fact is, Aaron Glenn is observing this year. And if I'm Aaron Glenn and I'm seeing the tape of Quinnen Williams, I'm not happy with it. I would say he's a goner. And Quincy, look, we already pay Sherwood $15 million a year. Do you really think we had to have? Do we have the linebackers the way we've been getting trashed inside rushes and things along those lines? We clearly made a mistake signing Sherwood for $15 million a year. It's looking like it. I'm not saying
it looks like it, right? Of course.
I'm not saying it's a bad signing, but the reality is linebackers, right? If you got a Fred Warner, you're going to pay him. Okay, Fred Warner, Demario Davis. These guys are impact players. C.J. Mosley, really, if you look at the overall picture of it, it wasn't a great signing if you look at the numbers we gave him. But C.J. was a real player.
He did take a year off in the COVID situation,
He
but
did, yeah. COVID opt
he
out,
was
yeah.
not even considered a great. We overpay. You can't overpay linebackers. Linebackers. I mean, look at this guy we got in the 5th round. What's his name? Mauga.
Oh yeah, Francisco Mauigoa. Yeah.
Mauigoa is not looking bad. He's made some plays.
Solid.
He's looked as good as Quincy at times. The thing with Quincy is this: he's around the football. Okay, we don't have guys on our defense that are around the football that have chances to make it, interceptions, that have highlight hits. Quincy makes a lot of highlight hits, but I'll tell you another thing. He makes a lot of highlight whiffs, okay? He whiffs a lot, misses a lot of tackles. He's good in coverage. But again, he's a good player. But if you can get a 4th for him, I would say goodbye to him, only because his brother and him, they're not happy. I don't see these guys being Quincy. And plus, Quincy's, 30 years old now?
29. He turns 30 in the offseason.
That's enough. I'm not giving him. You can't give him a contract because we can't have $30 million at the linebacker position. And these guys are not impact linebackers. Yeah. So we have to put our money and resources in other directions. So Quincy could walk out the door. We wouldn't miss him that much. As I said, we have a linebacker I think is adequate. You could always look at I'm sure we have 1 or 2 hanging out in the practice squad. Without him, we weren't any worse, right?
No, that's true.
The 2 games we gave up 13 points. He wasn't on the field, right?
Nope, he was not.
What's that tell you, Paul? He's expendable. So Quincy is the only guy, and Quinnen, if you get a first, that we really should consider. JJ, forget about it. The guy is a gamer. He comes on the field and he turns up the juice. Okay, McDonald. We don't know what we have yet with McDonald. And I'll tell you one thing that we're overlooking. Okay. He had the sack last week. Yes. Because what happened and why did he get the sack? Because
coverage sack.
Flacco had to throw the football.
Yes.
When a defensive edge rusher knows that a guy, how many games have we had where quarterbacks have had to throw the football to win a game?
Not many.
Not had any, really, right?
No.
Pittsburgh, Rodgers had to do some things, and he's got 2 sacks because he knew it was a pass rush situation. He could pin his ears back. McDonald has the capability to be a top 10 edge rusher. If we get rid of him, Paul, look what they had to pay Hutchinson. What are you paying these top 10 edge rushers in the league? They're getting monster money.
Yeah.
You can't risk him becoming a top 10 edge rusher for somebody else on a rookie deal. You can't afford to do that. And I want to be good now. We have players that are good now. Forget about a total rebuild. Did Campbell, if we're going to model Campbell's strategy, he didn't strip the team down bare after his first year or during his first year. He didn't do that. Now, he didn't have the talent we have.
That's also true.
He didn't strip it. So forget about these, crapshoots. Because, again, one thing I do know is forget about what teams don't get running backs in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round. Forget about teams that don't get really top players after the 3rd round. Our team never gets players after the 3rd round that are game-changing. Could you name a few? I don't think I can. I'm going to go back to 2012. Maybe two.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we rolled 7s on the come out roll twice in 15 years, and you want to start dumping players for a 4th and 5th rounder and be confident that we're going to pick the right guy? No thanks. That's what I got to say. I love the team. I love it. I think we come out here. Let's win some games. That's what I want to
go.
Let's win some games. Let's see what we have against competition that we should beat. We should win this. We're better than Cleveland. We're better than New Orleans. If we're not better than these teams now, what are we really looking at here? We're going to suck for another year then. But if we pick it up and we win, can we go 4-5? Can we go 5-4?
Reasonable.
Yeah. If we go 5-4, now we got something. We got our 6 wins. We're, getting strong at the end of the season. We're in the whole salary regime. What's happened? We were great in the first half of the year, and we sucked the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to go out of the season into the next season with 6 losses?
No.
I mean, do we want a 1-16 team again? Are you going to be excited if we've got 2 wins and going into the
Hell
next?
no.
This chat will melt down. All the guys will melt down except Indy. Indy will still be positive at 1-16. I love them, but they'll still be positive, and Ricky and a couple of the other guys. The reality is we're going to get some wins.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Let's forget about Breece. And like I said, nobody's going to pay these guys. I think we're overvaluing these guys with their worth.
We normally do. Yeah.
And I think we'll get a lot of guys in free agency.
Okay.
Let's see that. I'll tell you one guy. I'll tell you one guy who's my 4-game MVP.
All right.
Clemens on the inside. If you watch the tape, he's made more pressures on the inside than Quinnen Williams. And I'm telling you, Quinnen Williams is not getting doubled as often as people think. I'm watching it. He's not getting doubled all the time. He's not like this freak that's getting doubled a lot. He does turn it on in certain situations. He's a guy that turns it on, but like Clemens gives you 100%. One thing you got to say about the guy, and that's why I think Aaron Glenn likes him. He's 100% effort guy. He doesn't get the result all the time, but he does get the effort. And if you look at these last 4 games where we've had some good defensive play, Clemens has been a big part of that on the inside. Outside, he's totally lost. Hey, there he is.
There's my guy, Neil. Hi, buddy. How are you?
Good. How are my points so far today? And do you think I'm making
man, I forgot all about the other points you were making. As soon as you brought up Michael Clemens, I'm like, oh, I've got to call in. There's 2 of us now talking about Michael Clemens for the Ring of Honor.
On the inside, Indy, he's been a force. He's made more pressures inside than Phillips. I never hear this guy Phillips' name. I saw him flex his muscle once in 4 weeks, and we raved about this guy like he was an inside force.
Right. I think they found it, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, BG. Clemens, this coaching staff has found a use for Clemens, and being on the defensive end was not it. We all saw that. Saleh couldn't do it. AG can't do it. But putting Clemens next to Will McDonald, which got the big sack that Will McDonald got. But if you watch that, it was Clemens that just shoved that middle. He's just a bull rush. That's the only move he's got. But he is strong enough to push the left tackle. He's strong enough to push that left tackle in the way. And you know what? Sometimes you just need that. And he's played probably as good, or I don't want to say better than, but Quinnen, we're talking about getting a 1st-round pick from Quinnen, but he's probably played as good as Quinnen has this year. And
I will say, if you look at PFF, I bet you he has more pressures the last 3 weeks by far than Quinnen.
Could very well be.
Yeah, I believe that. And like you said, Indy, on passing downs, right? You put him next to. You're right. I saw that play where he made the sack. Look, Clemens could get a push on a guard. He could push a tackle. He could push anybody, and he's a great guy to loop around if you're trying to rush because he gets forward. I have yet to see a guy on a passing down push Clemens backwards. He's always coming forwards. Always.
He's a strong ox. That's what he is. He doesn't have moves, but yeah, he is strong as an ox, and, Neil, if you ever get down here to Charlotte, come here to Dilworth. We'll all go and go to the Jets bar. I think you would be the second, we're all coming to watch the Jets game, but Neil, we would put you at the head of the table, my brother.
I love South Carolina. I would definitely want to come down there. My wife loves it. I've been to Charlotte once. It was really, really nice. They appreciate smokers down there, too, a little bit more than they do here in New York. I don't know.
I just wanted to get on.
Still the case. I don't know if that's still the case. I was there a long time ago.
Yeah, I just wanted to get on. Neil, everybody in the chat knows that I blow up Clemens, but, and most of that is a parody. But, to hear Neil talk about Clemens in a positive way is something great.
Yeah, I mean, Alon, whatever. I'll call you Alon. You know where I live, Alon? I have a place out east, but I live right in General's Row, and that's the big, the big colonials when you go into Nassau Community College on the
I
left
do.
hand side?
I do. I know where
Behind
that
the
is.
Avalon.
Nice. I know where that is. Yeah.
They Avalon bought 18 of those general houses.
Yeah.
Paul, my house in Garden City was a military general house. They had, when they had the Nassau Community College was Miller Field was a big World War II hub, and the house I have there, they had all these houses built, which a lot of them are in Nassau Community College. They were built for the military, and my street was built for the officers. The house I live in Garden City is bomb-proof. It's crazy.
Wow.
The house is all brick.
The jets were bomb-proof.
In between the house and the inside, it's all is steel. The beams in the basement are all steel. The place could withstand the bomb. It's 100 years old. My brother-in-law is a steel worker. He was a steel worker before he retired. I took him down in my basement. He looked up at me. He goes, "Holy shit! I've never seen a house built like this." He goes, "This house will survive your grandkids' grandkids."
Okay, that's pretty good. And by the way, I want to pour one out here real quick for Alon, baby, making it rain from the high heavens.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you, Alan.
Kevin James. I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Hey,
Kevin
Neil.
James,
Yes, Al.
Kemal
Yes, Al.
Patel, Whodat Fam, Stephen Kinslow, Justin Ferrocho, DJ Dirty Cooch, Emmanuel Holcomb, Divan G, Peter Castro, and Ted and Flight Boys 2.0 Slim God. By the way, boys, I also want to throw this to you. I'm sure you guys are getting all nostalgic here on the show. Look who's back at MetLife Stadium today. Look at this guy.
What's up, Giants fans? Welcome to
Robert Saleh jogging
like
at
crack
MetLife
lighter?
Stadium. Look at that. That's very nice. Look at that. Robert
Neil.
Saleh's back. Nice.
Neil. Bucky Irving, 4th round pick, top 15 running back. Quinnen Williams, 5th round pick, top 15 running back. Just
James
wanted to
Cook,
tell you.
2nd round.
Yeah, but he's talking about day 3 guys.
Yeah,
Day
there's
3
2 guys in the league, and those guys are not top 10, Alan. They're top
50. You said top 15.
All right.
Bucky Irving is a top 15 running back. Quinnen Williams is a top. Yeah, they are.
Bucky
They are.
Irving? I don't
Bucky
know.
Irving is a top 15 running back in the league.
Andy, is Bucky Irving a top 15 running back? I don't think so.
No.
Yes.
Having a semi-good season does not make you a top 15 running back.
Alan, do you really think it's a benefit to our team now? I know you don't look at the team now to win games, but we're here. We want to win some games if you don't mind. We don't want to be 1-16 in perpetuity until you decide that we made the perfect. We're never going to have the perfect draft, Alan.
I want a real quarterback. That's the problem. The Jets don't have a real quarterback. Okay.
We all want one. And the reality is, there's no guarantee. If the Jets pick 1, 2, or 3, I can assure you, if I'm a betting man, that pick we take a quarterback at 1 or 2 or 3, most likely would be the worst quarterback in the draft. That I would bet more on than the opposite. Would you?
Philly, just say what you wrote, please.
How could you say Bucky Irving and Quinnen? They're top 10 running backs right now.
100%.
Right now.
Are they?
Physically, right now.
What's the disrespect going on here for Bucky?
right
Is
now.
it because their names aren't sexy?
I never agree with
I don't
Philly,
even.
but-
I watch a lot of football. Who's Bucky Irving on Tampa Bay?
Yes, he's
Oh
a
my
top
God,
15
he's
All
running
right.
back.
I mean,
Why
I
is that
don't
good? John
really
Baker.
look at him and like.
And
And
Evans. Oh, my
come on.
And
Okay,
Quinnen
can you-
Williams is a top 10 running back.
Okay.
Oh,
But you
God.
gotta
Who do they
realize
have for quarterbacks? Can you remind me again?
I
Who they have?
understand that, but
Al, let's put it in context, okay? If you put Bucky Irving on the Jets, he would not have the same numbers as Breece Hall.
Yes, he would.
guarantee fucking
Yes, he
you.
would.
Yes,
He
he
might
would.
have more.
No, he
he
would.
would have more. He's a much better
Come on,
receiver out of
will
the backfield
you?
than
Come
He is.
on, Neil.
On.
It's
Neil.
okay.
Neil.
You have Jets
Wait,
guys.
wait,
No
wait. Let me
chance.
tell you
I
something
get
right now. I will guarantee you, Breece Hall on the Kansas City Chiefs has
He's
a
not going there.
goes to top 5 instantly next year.
It's not going.
Okay?
You want to know why he
Look
can't
where
go
Barkley
there
was on the
right now?
Giants. And look where he is now with a team that could block.
Neil, you have to move Pacheco. They can't move Pacheco for a bag of beans right now.
Wow.
Hey, Philly, did you say this? Did you say that you guys are going to be playing dress up while you're down there?
Well, he's going to wear his Dennis Quaid outfits. We're gonna have Indy come in with Dennis Quaid outfits. I need to see it.
Yes.
The Rookie, a few other movies. Any movie he's getting the ladies is what I want him dressed as.
But
So
Alan,
when is this meetup, Indy? When is this meetup down in your
November 23rd? We've got Badshaw coming. I believe Dylan Terriman has said that he may show up, and then there's some other there's another YouTuber that's going to be showing up. He's kind of a smaller one, but for those of you that don't know, Y2K, Wicker Media, he's going to be there. So he's coming down from Raleigh.
What is this for a Jet game?
Yeah. The Jets Baltimore game.
Neil, it's
what about it? Like, you guys golf or anything? I like to go to Carolina to play golf. Are you guys golf?
Oh, absolutely. We had the big Marty Lyons golf outing here 2 weeks ago, Philly.
Yeah, they just had that. That's what I was telling. I think I was telling BG, or I think it was. Yeah, I said it yesterday. I mentioned it because the Marty Lyons Foundation giving him that raffle item. Yeah,
I played in the foundation, the Jet Classic last year, Marty's Classic. Not this year.
Shout out to this. Yeah,
last
Marty
year
Lyons.
I couldn't make it.
Nice.
I played in that golf outing when Rich Kotite was the coach of the Jets. You want to go back?
Oh my
I
God.
lived in Plano. I was talking to Rich Kotite in the parking lot, telling him how, giving him coaching advice. He laughed in my face.
What did you say to him?
Yeah, well, and Neil,
you're going to tell me about coaching. I was only 34 at the time.
You've told the story, Neil. Hey, Neil, you've told the story on Jake's show, and I think you should tell the story on BG's show of showering with Testaverde.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
I've heard that.
I'm
He
sorry.
had a towel on right behind me.
You slap him on the ass and say good game. What happened back there?
I didn't get a chance to see the package. I only saw the towel, but the body was still looks like he was 35 years old. I got to admit, he looked.
Oh wow, good.
Guy towers. He's a monster, man.
He lit your cigar while you were standing in the shower. That's how he looked to you, huh?
The only place I can't take a cigar is in the shower, guys. But
I guess
anyway,
not,
somebody reminded me in the chat to say that Sauce Gardner is the most overrated, overpaid cornerback in the league. Somebody told me to say that to you guys, and I agree with that take. I think paying him was a big mistake. Paying in hindsight, Sherwood was a mistake, but Sherwood, it is what it is.
Sauce would have been
not paying these guys. You give these guys the bag, and they turn into crap every time. Especially.
Can I explain real quick my theory on Sauce? My theory on Sauce is correlate to baseball. You have your top ace pitcher. Even if your pitcher ain't having a great season or his game isn't great, you literally compensate your lineup because he's coming into the game because he's starting. So that's what happens. They don't throw the ball that way. I'm okay with spending on a guy where they don't even want to throw the ball his way. That's actually a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
They've been hitting him pretty hard. They've been throwing at him, Philly. Rodgers went right after him. A lot of teams have been going after Sauce.
Yeah. I mean, what do you say? Justin, I'm trying with two.
MFC.
Paul, Neil makes fun of me. I love it. Indy makes fun of me. I love it. Philly is a smart guy.
How do I make fun of you, Alan? What do I do?
You just rip on me all the time. It's fine. I enjoy it.
No, Alan. I
enjoy it. I'm fine, Neil.
I respect. Listen now. I respect you. I would have a cigar with you and hang out with you and watch a game. No question.
100%. Can you imagine that this group right here all at one table?
Oh God, Jesus! Wow. There would be stories told. Yeah.
Yes.
Paul,
hopefully towels on. Towels on.
The best thing about today is there's no Jet game.
That's right. I will tell you, before the show started, I'm like, I know I got Lombardo for 30 minutes, and I know there will be some callers. I'm like, I wonder how long this show's going to go. There's no game day. I'm not exactly certain. So how many people are going to show up? And then bing, boom, bam, 2.5 hours later, here we are.
Frankie, I got to say
Poor
something.
Lily.
You don't want this team to suck. Yet you want to get rid of Breece Hall. I mean, all the guys you want to get rid of, it's him.
Because
Neil, that's
come
like
on.
you
We
might
can
as well
get we
stop
can get a
watching the
running back.
Jets this year.
It's all about the offensive line when it comes to running backs. You know that.
Okay,
Come
we
on.
could throw anybody back there. All right.
If we have a quarterback who can throw the ball, yes, I agree. Yes, I do. Do you? Okay,
What-
unless you're an elite running back, and he's not an elite running back. He's a good
Breece
running
Hall
back.
is an elite running back, Frank.
No, he's not. He's not. He's.
Okay.
Do you think he's
Put
as
him on
good as
the Chiefs
Saquon
and tell me-
Barkley?
He's
as good as Saquon Barkley.
What's that?
He's as good as Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley, let's put it this way. Breece Hall's numbers on the Jets are as good, if not better, than Saquon's was on the Giants. Let's look at when he played. Like, what did Saquon Barkley do with his shitty offensive line with the Giants? What did he do? Was he great, Frankie? No.
No,
Good.
I'm not going to pay him $14-15 million a year. It's not going to
Wait.
Who said you're paying him? I didn't know you were breaking out your checkbook. I want
Wait a
Woody
second.
Johnson. If it was up to me, Woody Johnson should pay every freaking guy on the team $20 million.
Oh, I agree
to
with
let
that.
us
Well, Woody
keep watching
Johnson
this
just sell the
shit.
fucking team.
But
Johnson
Neil,
knows
you
what
said
he pays.
you said that Breece has put up the same numbers as he did with the Giants. Saquon had a 1,300-yard rushing year with the Giants. What are you talking about?
Well, Breece 2 years ago had top. He was second best all-purpose yardage running back in the league.
When we're going all
You're only
purpose,
saying
I'm
with
just trying-
rushing.
well.
Look, Breece is a weapon on receiving as well. Come on now.
So you're telling me I could draft
Alon, help me out a little bit. You like
I like Breece. I don't think he's elite. I never
Right.
said he was. I don't. I do not.
I don't think he's elite either. I
Jonathan
think he's very
Taylor's
good, but
elite.
he's not
Listen,
elite.
he's won. Let me tell you guys something. He's won games for us on his back. Now, let me ask you this: is he the best offensive player on the team? Yes or no?
No, Garrett
Who's
is
better than him.
Garrett is.
Okay.
I think
Garrett can't change a game with Justin Fields at quarterback, guys.
Well,
you want to win some
but Neil,
games this year
that's
or
the
not?
point. Neil, that's the point that Alon is making. We need a goddamn fucking quarterback. Of course.
Well, we don't have one. But listen, hey,
but
maybe
we
Justin
have
Fields.
to get. That's our main thing we need to get. Okay, we need to solidify the lines, and we need to get a quarterback. And if we don't do that, we will never be good.
And we've only won one game. We've only won one game. You said, well, with Breece, we're winning what? We've won one game.
We won, exactly.
No, Paul, I'm talking about the last 3 years. If you
How
look
many
at
games have we won the last?
We haven't won any games in the
but
last 3
my
years.
point is this: the games that we won. Look at the games we won last year. We beat the Dolphins. Breece had a big game. We beat the Broncos.
I get
Breece
that.
had a
He's
big
winning
game.
we're
How
winning
many
against
games
bad
did we
teams.
win, Paul, where Garrett Wilson had a big game? He has a big game every game.
Halloween.
Joe
Halloween
Flacco
last
in
year.
Cincinnati.
Okay.
He won 2
Halloween.
If
Yeah.
you
How many
put,
games did
okay,
Garrett
let me
Wilson
ask you
win
guys
for
a
us in
question.
the last
Let me
3
ask you
years?
guys a
How
question.
many? How many
let me
games
ask
did Garrett Wilson win for us in the last 3 years?
We haven't won any games in the last
Guaranteed.
3 years. Nobody's won any games for us in the last 3 years.
Well, there's that.
Go ahead, Frank. You got a question.
No,
Frank,
the
you got a
question is
question.
like, if you were to take Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall and put them on the Kansas City Chiefs, how great would they be? Why? They'd be phenomenal. Why? Because they have a great offensive line and they got a phenomenal quarterback. We don't have that. We need a damn quarterback before anything else.
But let me put it this way, Frankie. Let me ask you this: Breece is not going to cost us that much money. He's
Yes, he will.
I think he is.
He will.
I mean,
what, $11 million?
No, he's gonna get more than
Let me
that.
ask you a question.
No,
Wait,
he's-
time out. Who would you rather pay? $15 million to Quincy?
I don't want to pay him either.
Or
I don't want him
$11
either.
million to Breece?
I don't want him either.
No, neither one for 15. Neither one
I'm
for
not paying
15.
either of them.
No, exactly.
3 year, 18 guaranteed, 25 mil.
He's not taking that.
He's not going to
He's
take
not
that.
taking
Bill.
that.
Yeah, I
He's
would
not
do that, but
taking
he's not going to
Is
take
that for
Yeah, he's
Breece?
not taking
Philly,
that.
is that for Breece?
He's
That's-
not
yeah,
taking that.
That puts him
He's
top
not.
10. Hey,
So what are you
top 10.
saying? $8 million a year? Is that?
No,
That's
Neil,
basically what he's saying. Yeah.
Neil, he wants the James Cook contract, which
No,
It's not gonna happen.
4 years,
Not here.
46 million, 30
no,
million guaranteed.
forget it.
That
Goodbye.
would
We're not
come.
giving
That's enough.
And
I would
they're not
say
gonna pay
keep
him
him
that.
and franchise him. F him.
I'm with
Frank,
Alan.
do that.
Franchise is going to cost him
Le'Veon
14,
Bell
15,
situation.
isn't it, Paul?
That's all right. That's all right. It's a one-year deal.
$14.14 million is the franchise
I'm
tag
not
for next
paying
year.
that
Over
kid that.
14
Alan,
million.
you and I
Yeah,
agree
no.
on this 100% down to the dollar on that.
Yeah.
And that basically is a
don't
$10 million a year guarantee.
Yeah.
That's what that is. If you look at it, it's a $30 million contract or $30 million guaranteed for 4 years is a 30 million is a 10 million for 3-year contract. That's all that
minimum
amounts
he's gonna
to.
want. That's the
Guys,
minimum
here's
he's
one
gonna
thing
want.
Here's one thing we don't know.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that's really the mystery. We don't know if these guys want to be Jets.
I don't think they
That's
want
a
to be
different
Jets.
story.
I don't.
I know Jermaine Johnson wants to be a
He
Jet.
does.
He's the only
Jermaine
one
to be
who
a
wants
Jet.
to be a Jet.
Yeah, 100% wants to be a
think Quincy wants to be
I think Breece, I'm not so sure. Look, I think Breece wants to get paid. Okay. And I think if you paid him, but I like the line he said, if you trade me, I'm going to kick your ass when I play you.
Yeah, he
I
told
kinda
that to
like
Aditi Kinkabawala. Yeah, he said, if you trade me, I'm going to come back and hunt
I
you.
like that. You know, that's
good
why
job,
I want
Paul,
him on
Denise.
my team. Let's face it. Forget about the money, guys. We want guys that want to be on the team that can make an impact next year. I'm looking at next year. Breece Hall could be a star for us next year.
You know what?
And don't forget, he came off an ACL. The guy, whatever. He's still he looks really good to me. Let me tell you something. I like Isaiah Davis a lot. Okay,
Yeah,
I like
look
him,
good.
and he
Look
plays
good.
with his hair on fire. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but look in a big play if you look at Breece's big plays in that game versus Isaiah Davis, Breece was making more big plays. He threw a touchdown. He got 2 touchdowns. He gets in the end zone. I don't know.
Neil, Breece is going to want $12 million plus.
You don't know that, Alan.
Yes,
You don't know that.
He's going to want $12 million.
He's going to want
plus.
that. He is.
Somebody's going to give it to him. That's
I don't think the Jets are going to pay him.
All right.
He's gonna want
I don't think he's going to get $12 million from the Jets. You're right. Again, Alan, I agree with you. He's not. He's
not going to get that kind of money.
They might.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Neil, I like Breece. I loved Breece pre-injury. I don't think Breece is the same running back.
No, he looks a lot better than he did last year. He's got that burst again. Yes.
Well, let's see if we can get consistency. Can he do it against Cleveland, a really good defense?
Yeah.
Let's see back-to-back.
Like I said, hey, look, I want to see Breece the remainder of the year. With now this offensive line is starting to gel together. All right. Let's see what's happening. If we get rid of everybody, that's a guarantee that Glenn comes back and this and that. We still got to see if Glenn is the coach. We don't even know that yet. Do you guys certain that
I'm
he's our
pretty
coach
certain
for the
he's
season?
going to. I'm pretty certain. Yeah,
He's going to come back for another year.
Yeah, but I'm asking you guys: do you really think? Do we know yet that he's our coach of the future?
Yes,
he will be our coach next year.
You anything that
he will be the coach next year.
He's the coach of the future for next year, anyway.
Yeah,
no,
right.
I want to know: have you seen anything from him that you say,
"Wow"?
Yes. Yeah, the Bengals game, 100%.
Not just the Bengals game.
I think he's screwed up more games than he's done any.
Well, yeah, they're 1-7. I would agree.
Right?
Neil, can you do me one favor?
I'm not there yet.
Neil, do me a favor. For the rest of the year, can you watch some college, please? Just watch a little college.
Come on, draft guy. Come on,
you gotta
draft
watch
guy.
some college.
Did you guys watch that World Series Game 7 last night?
Oh yeah, baby.
Shit, what a game!
You can't do it, Alan.
Game
You can't
7.
get him to do it.
Yeah, you're.
No, that was a great pivot.
Alon, you're lucky to get me to come watch it.
I know. I'm watching the college game with Frank next week. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, nice.
Alan,
You guys got to give us an update.
Alan, here's the problem with college, okay? You get these quarterbacks, they sit in the back pocket, nobody rushes them. They're playing 7-on-7, the good ones. How do you know that's going to translate in the NFL?
Unfortunately, the next quarterback the Jets will have under center that's going to be good is playing in college now.
Right now.
There's nobody else.
He may be in high school still.
He might still be in high school, too.
Guys, I have a question.
I'm getting too old.
This guy that we tried out, the skinny guy that runs, it's got a funny name, a couple names.
Dorian Thompson.
Dorian Thompson.
Awful.
Now, wait a minute. Who drafted him?
Sucks.
Cleveland, right?
Cleveland drafted him in the 5th round. Yeah.
Let me
He
tell you
played a couple
something.
games for Cleveland last year.
Let me tell you something. When he was in the preseason,
he's
awful. Wait, Aaron
Awful.
Rodgers loved him.
I don't
He
give a
did
crap
love
if
him.
Aaron Rodgers loved it. He's not an NFL quarterback.
I was at that game. That was a Hall of Fame game. I was at that game.
I remember he had a great game that game, Paul.
He did. Yes. And then the game got canceled because the lights went out in the 4th quarter. So
Neil, you want to see a good quarterback? Watch Drake May. That is a good quarterback.
All right. Well,
All
that's
right,
because,
there we go.
but Allen, if he was on the Jets and we had him as a rookie, he would look like more like Sam Darnold than he does like he looks right now.
I love
BG.
Drake May.
BG, real quick. You know who's a good quarterback?
Who's that? What's his name?
Damn.
Is it Nichols?
Jones?
Is it
Daniel
Nichols?
Indiana?
I think of Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes. There
Hey,
we
listen,
go.
I was on Jake's show
I like
panting for Daniel Jones. I got ripped every time I said his name.
I will
I
say
got
Neil-
ripped every time I said, "Let's go to Daniel Jones." He had a playoff win. Oh, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat. No, Daniel Jones.
I got cold nuts.
Let's get Justin
Neil-
Fields. He's great.
Neil, I will give you that. You were saying that from day one, and you were 100% accurate. I will
But
give
Neil,
you kudos on that, man.
if you used your superpowers to identify Daniel Jones, imagine if you listened to Alon's take and watch college football, you could help us find our franchise quarterback sooner, buddy.
No,
There you go.
because there's no franchise. There's
Can you
nobody
watch
solid.
Mendoza? Neil, watch Mendoza next week. Can you do me
I
a
saw.
favor?
Wait. I did see that 35-point half Mendoza had. That was pretty impressive.
Okay, watch him next week in
Hi,
Penn State.
Mendoza.
It's a noon game. Just watch him, okay? And then follow up. You can watch Oregon. They play my team.
Who's the guy, Alan? Who's the guy that looks? I want to know who. I'm going to follow some your advice.
Okay.
Who's the biggest, strongest arm? Who looks the
Moore.
most like Josh Allen?
Moore.
in college?
Dante Moore.
Josh
Dante
Allen?
Moore.
Yeah.
Who's
Dante
he
Moore
play
at
for?
Oregon.
He plays
Oregon.
They play at Iowa next Saturday at 3:30 on
Does
CBS.
he could throw like a rocket?
Oh,
and
yeah,
run and
for
everything?
sure. Yeah, he's a
That's
talented
Drew
kid.
Allard, though. That's the kid that is
Yeah, but
literally
he's out
like
for-
Josh
He's in a
Allen.
hospital right now,
I know,
Philly.
but he's the guy.
He's in a
who looks like Josh
wheelchair.
Allen. The guy looks like Josh Allen.
Neil, just watch those games next week,
Yeah,
and
watch
then you
the
don't have
games.
to watch any more. Watch
Oh,
those
there you
games.
go. That's it.
So
Hey,
out
Alan.
of the six of us, who thinks Sauce Gardner was a good yeah, all right.
Thank
So
you.
we've got 3-2. No.
No,
By the way, I have a friend of mine who is an operator. He operates private jets, and he's based out of Michigan, out of Ypsilanti. He just flew Sauce Gardner and his girlfriend down to the Caribbean for a vacation.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So I said, "You son of a
Get
bitch!"
me that.
He knows
Okay.
I'm an insane Jet fan.
Yeah.
I said, "I would
No
love to have
signing?
gotten on that plane with Sauce Gardner. I give him a piece of my mind." And take his
Wow.
girlfriend away.
Oh, Jesus.
I
Wow.
said,
Okay.
I said to him, he goes, "How you doing?" He's a football fan. This guy, he's the pilot and owns the
Okay, that's pretty important.
135. He goes, "How's it going, Sauce?" He goes, "Pretty good. How you doing?" He goes, "I'm having a good year. Not so much the team."
Oh wow, that's a nice thing to say.
That was out of his lips.
And
What
here's
a
the difference.
selfish
And here's the
boy.
difference
Isn't
between
he
Sauce
just speaking
Gardner
the
and,
reality?
and Revis.
He
There's
said
a
He's
that.
difference
talking the
between the
reality,
two.
though.
What's that?
He is talking.
I know,
reality.
but he's not having a great year, Philly. Let's face it. He's
What?
not-
What do you
Oh,
mean?
dude,
He's
no
looked
one's
really
doing
good the
that.
last
What
couple of
is he here?
games. Come on,
Oh,
man.
my God.
But
I'm
the
gonna tell you
biggest
something.
difference between
I
him
like
and
this
Revis
kid.
is
Listen, at least the kid Smith had the ball in his hands, out of bounds, no less. But at least he caught the ball. At least he was looking backwards at the ball
Okay.
instead of trying to break it up.
Neil.
Oh, you think AZ
Neil, you know you
Thomas?
should be more mad at?
Easy Thomas, that's what I meant.
You should be more mad at Brandon Stevens. He's dropped 3 interceptions.
I'm gonna tell you
Three.
something. Brandon
That's a lot of
Stevens was
interceptions.
saying on TV he's the best cornerback in the league right now. The last 5 games.
But he's
Jets would
dropping
have
interceptions.
beaten Pittsburgh. Brandon Stevens had a pick 6 against Rodgers,
Yeah,
and
he
we win
did.
that game, and who knows what could have happened.
Well,
Bastard.
that's our. We have the guy that sets up the cleats and everything.
Yeah.
He's Woody Johnson's kid's best friend. That's why he puts
great.
those short ones on the
Well,
cleats.
thank you.
Sweat
I
out.
really appreciate that. Thanks, pal. Thanks, buddy. All right, boys. Wow. What?
Hey, I got a quick question.
Oh yeah,
Quick
go
question.
ahead, Frankie. Go ahead.
What's
Frankie.
with the Dennis Quaid reference, Indy? I missed
I
that.
have
whole thing.
no idea where Philly got this from. So you're going to have to just
Close your
ask
eyes.
Philly.
No,
He's the
Philly,
one that came up with this.
Indy, you do remind me a little of Dennis Quaid. You remind me
Yeah,
a
close
little.
your eyes and listen to him talk. It
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah,
Dennis
yeah,
Quaid.
yeah. He has the growl.
Yeah, so it's the
He has
Yeah,
the Dennis
I-
Quaid.
I think it was Philly's. Philly was the passenger princess the entire drive down here, and I think he was just bored and started coming up. Maybe he was
It's Dennis Quaid,
daydreaming. I don't know what it was.
You sound like Dennis Quaid. It's a good thing. It's
There you go.
It's an actor, bro.
Alan,
It's a-
did you go to Nassau Community College?
I went for a semester when I transferred over.
And that's how he saw Jimmy.
That's how I knew. That's how I work with Jimmy.
I
love
never.
him.
I tried.
That was a
getting
great
on that
story,
guy's
by the way.
website to give us
Yeah,
a
very
trip.
nice.
YouTube
See,
said
Alon's
it-
human after all, huh?
No, I'm an asshole. That's fine. I
No,
know.
Alan. Everybody likes
So,
it.
so
except you.
hold on.
Wouldn't want it
Alon,
any other way.
I'm gonna break your. I don't know if you're gonna like what I'm gonna say, but for those of
Oh,
you
boy.
who think Alon's the biggest asshole in the world, he's not.
Oh,
He's
hell
a
no.
great
So
guy.
what is he?
definitely
So
not.
what is he then, Frankie? What is
He's
he?
Top
he's
10,
very he's
maybe.
just real. He's just real. He's direct. He's direct.
Real, direct, genuine.
Allen does
Nice.
not have a low opinion of himself when it comes to his selections and his draft. He thinks, he should be the Jets GM. That's all.
I would love to be a scout. That's all I would. But always a pleasure, guys. Always
Thanks
a pleasure.
Alon.
Allen, take
Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Real quick,
Thanks,
you'll be
Andy.
very
I
upset to
appreciate
learn
you.
Neil
this, buddy.
Philly. BG. Have a great weekend.
See you
Yeah,
guys.
thanks, man.
Hey Neil, Sauce Gardner just signed a deal with Netflix. He's releasing a show.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
This kid is the biggest diva.
That's a
with
true
his-
story.
I think it's a multi-million-dollar deal. Obviously.
Oh,
It
nice.
just,
Good for
the news
Sauce.
just dropped. I think. This
Yeah,
week.
good for him. Maybe he'll
Yeah.
learn how to turn his head around to look at the quarterback when he's throwing the
Can only
ball.
hope.
One time, I want to see him turn around. Once.
We'll see. Hey, maybe that happens.
And how about
today.
that? I will say one thing about Sauce. He may not make interceptions, but boy, can he tackle. He hits you, and the guy goes backwards, doesn't he?
Remember that Teddy
How
Bridgewater?
is he as a tackler?
That safety.
Ooh, he's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I can run him over. If you give me the ball, I want the ball, and I want to run at Sauce Gardner about 60 pounds heavier and bust his stupid gold teeth right out of his mouth.
Oh, damn.
Okay,
All right.
wow.
On that note, I'm out. I don't
All
want
right.
to
He
be
can't
about
tackle. He
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
I'm
tackle.
out.
Guys,
That's
take
it,
care.
yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
great football Sunday. Let's watch Red Zone, and we're not going
Let's
to
go.
lose today.
No, we're not. Cheers. Wow. What a show, everybody. Thank you to the 600 people on the show right now. Again, I said this before the show. Oh, man, no Jets game day today. I wonder how long this show is going to go. Nearly 3 hours, apparently, is the answer to that question. Well, folks, again, a couple of plugs. Like the video here on YouTube. That's a free way to contribute. Hit subscribe. Join the growing army of the Boy Green Coffee Club. And look at this. This is what we're giving away this month on the channel. An autograph Marty Lyons Alabama Crimson Tide jersey. At the bottom of the jersey, it has all of his accomplishments with the New York Jets and College Football Hall of Fame and everything else. And that inscription on the autograph came straight from the Marty Lyons Foundation. He autographed it to the Boy Green Coffee Club, and we're giving this away. To be eligible to win this beautiful autograph jersey, all you have to do is buy a raffle ticket. They're $3 a piece. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that money sign and make it rain from the high heavens, baby. So absolutely, I am so blessed to have that item as a part of our group, which is awesome. So shout out to Alon for all the memberships, MFC. We had Super Chats, Luby, Super Jets fan, Bubba Badshaw, EZ, Man with Rake, Frankie Fingers in there. All the memberships and everything was great. Couple of things to wrap up. Matthew Frank says, isn't Fox NFC Network What Are Giants Doing on CBS today? I don't know if you're still in here anymore, Matthew, but those lines have all blurred. They don't exist anymore. So NFC is not just Fox. CBS is not just AFC. All those lines are blurred, and teams can be on different networks now. That recently changed. So that's different now from that perspective. Badshaw saying, BG, what are you doing this Sunday since no Jets football? Great question. There's not going to be any watch party, so you guys have that off. You guys don't have to worry about that until next week. I'm going to be watching some football with the family. I'm going to be about to take them out to the diner so they can have some food. You just saw Polly, PE3 was up. They're awake, and they were texting me, hey, you guys are still doing the show? I'm like, yep. And then so we will be jumping over to the diner, which is great. And then I'll finish off here with Joe Rogan, No, Joe Grana. I said Joe Rogan. Sorry about that. Joe Grana, 2303. Boy Green, we need to sign 5 free agents. Guard, defensive tackle, defensive end, wide receiver, safety, draft a quarterback with our first-round pick, another wide receiver with our second. 80 to 90 million cap space. This is a realistic plan to rise to competitive team status. I would love it. 100%, you got to figure out the guard situation. ABT's a free agent. John Simpson's a free agent. Joe Tippman's playing guard. Is he your guard? Is he your center? What's happening there? Defensive tackle, no question about it. I'd keep Harrison Phillips. He's got another year on his contract. I'd pay him that money. You have Juwan Briggs. You have Quinnen. Does Quinnen get traded? What happens there at defensive tackle? So more defensive tackle help, 100%. Defensive end is one of the bigger needs on the team. Whether Will McDonald's here, Jermaine Johnson's here, Michael Clemens is a free agent, you need to reinvigorate that defensive end room for sure. Obviously, Garrett Wilson needs a running mate at wide receiver, so no question about it. Totally got to relock that room. I'm interested to see more from John Metchie. Let's see what he is for the Jets. He's going to get a lot of targets in this offense. Safety, obvious. Andre Sisco, my boy, unfortunately, is probably out for the year with the torn pec. Tony Adams is going to be gone. So you have Malachi Moore as one of your starters, but you need another starter at safety. And yes, it seems like a guarantee the Jets are going to be taking a quarterback in the first round. Who that quarterback is, TBD. But Joe Grana, 2303. Love the comment. Thank you so much. What an absolutely crazy show. Thanks, everybody, for all the comments and interactions. That was a lot of fun. Again, like the video here on YouTube. Help spread this Jet Show in front of other Jet fans in the universe. That would be awesome. Thank you guys so friggin' much. Also, one more plug here on the channel. Guys, if you can do this, I'd be so grateful. We have another YouTube channel that we're doing other content on that's exclusive. It's not the same stuff that we're doing over here. It is youtube.com/MC Show Digital. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're doing free giveaways, including a $400 golf club. If you're a golfer yourself, you have a chance to win it. We have the holidays. It's now November, so we're going to be getting Christmas season and all that stuff. You have a chance to win a $400 golf club. Either I'll hand it to you in person if you live close enough, or if you're far away, we'll ship it to you. So youtube.com/MC Show Digital. Subscribe to this channel. If you're one of our first 500 subscribers, you're eligible for that free giveaway. And we're going to continue to do free giveaways at every milestone marker. So guys, right here on your screen, make sure you take a second and jump on over. We also have a direct link in our YouTube description down below that jumps right over there. There's about 140 spots left, so take it while you can. And again, it'll be random draw who ends up winning that free golf club. It will also open up the phone launch on the MC Show Digital channel, which I do every single day, as well with live and pre-recorded content. Hopefully you guys can jump on that train too. Thanks everybody for all the laughs and the good times. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Take care.